That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable. Ah.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Meet the New Balance Fuel Cell 4040 V7, the choice of elite ball players like Michael Harris. Engineered for responsiveness and agility, this versatile option is built for speed demons who demand peak performance. With fuel cell foam underfoot and a synthetic mesh upper, experience unparalleled breathability, comfort, and a secure fit as you round the bases. The nitrogen-infused fuel cell midsole propels you forward with every step, ensuring you stay ahead of the game. Learn more and purchase the 4040 at newbalance.com.
All right, places, please. The Daly Migs Show is on deck. Guitars plugged in. Drums ready to go. Chickens.
Sarah clucking.
Other animals. And action. This is the Daly Migs Show on The Rock with Taryn Daly and Steve Migs.
While listening to the Daly Migs Show, please refrain from any unnecessary finger gesturing.
99.9 KISW.
Happy Friday, Rockaholics,
Yes.
and thanks for capping off the week with the Daly Migs Show. Steve Migs, it's only this day, only one day a year that we get to both fly our freak flags and celebrate Seattle Rock Day on the same day.
Why not both?
I'm so excited.
Most of the musicians probably flew their freak flag at some point. Maybe it's some random club, Club Vogue, or remember that place?
Oh, yeah, the OK Hotel.
The OK Hotel, yep, Rock Candy. All the freaky stuff was happening, and usually on the weekends.
That's absolutely true.
So happy Seattle Rock Day.
Let's inform our Rockaholics.
Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes, and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs Download.
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Lawn. Today, not only is it Seattle Rock Day, and we'll be celebrating Seattle Rock Day all day long. If you want to help raise money with us for a Smash, just helping out musicians that are struggling, giving them some opportunities to get like some insurance and things that they typically couldn't get while playing music, just go to KISW.com. Fun ways to bid on some great auctions. Also, you can just donate $5 to however much you want to donate. Whatever it is, will be very appreciated. But today is also National Dive Bar Day.
You know some of those Seattle bands rocked some dive bars.
Rocked them, worked at them.
Oh, yeah.
Partied at them after their shows were done. What's your favorite Seattle dive bar?
Well, it's no longer.
Or Northwest Dive Bar.
It's no longer, but it was called Ed's Courthouse, and it was on Finney Ridge.
I don't even know this
They
one.
had exotic animal meat on a stick.
On a stick?
Sarah.
That's how she likes her
crazy.
meat.
They had like kangaroo and rattlesnake. It was insane.
Oh, my spot's still around. When I lived in Lower Queen Anne, the Mecca.
The Mecca.
And the Mecca was also a great place. They had great French fries, but they also had a great grilled cheese sandwich. And today is National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I just planned my lunch.
Are you a diagonal cutter or a...
Yeah, what kind of monster do you think I am? Of course I'm a diagonal
Good. I was just making sure we could still work together. All right. Last night, our Seattle Kraken, their last game on home ice, and well, maybe the season. We're glad that it's done. You know what? Honestly, though, they played well. They were peppering the goalie for the San Jose Sharks. I think they had 33 shots on goal after the second period. Ended up with, I think, 49 shots on, or 50 shots on goal. Devin Cooley, this rookie goalie, decided to play really well. Thanks a lot, Devin. Made 49 saves, and the San Jose Sharks, the lowly San Jose Sharks, beat the lowly Seattle Kraken 3-1. It was a tough one to watch. Shane Wright almost had a goal, hit the post. That would have been awesome if he did, because that would have meant he kept having goals in every game since he's been called up. But The season's not done. It's just done at home. Now they're on the road. They're going to be playing Dallas tomorrow night.
Yesterday, we learned that O.J. Simpson died from cancer at the age of 76. The reports indicate that he was with his children and his grandchildren when he passed, and this was on Wednesday night in Las Vegas. But because of his death, there's been this massive surge in sales for O.J. Simpson memorabilia.
That's so weird.
Prices are absolutely soaring. Items are selling out. Collectors want to own a piece of this history and know that these things will become more scarce and unique. My question to you, Steve Migs, if you have memorabilia from a former football star and actor acquitted of murder charges in a high-profile case.
That's oddly specific.
Do you display that in your home, or do you put it in a box somewhere?
I put it up for sale. If people are willing to buy it, I might as well get rid of this weird. That's so strange. And they always say, more famous when you're dead. But and also, I know there's a lot behind that story, but you're his family. That has to be so weird.
Yeah.
Being related to that guy with all that stuff going on at Thanksgiving, at Christmas. It's just like...
Never ends.
Are we ever going to talk about this, OJ? Uncle OJ, are we ever going to talk about this? Oh, man. Seahawks, former wide receiver, Ricardo Lockett, well-loved. But, man, what an idiot. What a stupid thing he ended up doing. He's 37 years old. He's the guy that had some neck injuries, had to end his career early, but was still doing stuff around the community, still doing stuff with the team, well-loved by the players, was just arrested in Atlanta for being a moron. He had possession of a firearm. He had a bunch of felonies as well. He possessed a vehicle with an altered VIN number on it. Looks like he was driving a stolen vehicle. Now, he tried to tell the authorities, I didn't steal this car. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace during the pandemic, but I guess a bunch of evidence is saying otherwise.
Yikes.
Oy.
The owner of a bakery in Kansas, her name is Dawn, she is asking customers to eat their cookies very carefully because she lost the $4,000 diamond from her ring in the dough.
Oh,
it was in dough that was made
chip.
last Friday, so a week ago, and it still has not been found. So here's Dawn talking about the diamond loss.
I looked down at my hand and the center diamond is gone, banging the bowls and the pans. We kind of went back to the kitchen and looked around. I was crying, and all he could say is, "You still have me." That made it all better. It's 36 years on this hand, but I would definitely make it worth your while bringing it back.
He definitely handled it a lot better than most husbands, I think, when they find out a $4,000 diamond was just lost in some cookie dough. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh. Yeah,
also,
maybe don't wear that when you're baking.
If you ate the cookie, or if you got a cookie there.
Oh, no.
And maybe, let's just say you're just a savage when you eat. You don't even bother chewing. You just scarf things down. Do you try and...
Find it on the other side?
Yeah, do the lady a solid, no pun intended, and try and help find her the diamond?
See, and I was thinking if you bite really quickly and then it just breaks your tooth.
Then I've got a 4,000 diamond and a lawsuit. Hey, as far as weather, Mariners at home this weekend. Let's hope that they can swing things around and actually play well.
And look for our friend VD. He's going to a couple of the games.
Yeah, but he's a Cubs fan, so if
That's
you
why
see him,
you'll recognize him.
tell him you stink.
You look like a loser out there.
Well, anyways, high of 58. It's going to be our weather. It's going to be cloudy. The DMV is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above, and that's what's up.
Today is Seattle Rock Day, so all day long we are celebrating the music of the Pacific Northwest. Plus, we are raising money for Smash. So if you head to KISW.com, you can donate and check out some of the awesome auction items that we have available. MXPX, Danny knows, one of the greatest bands to come out of this area, and their frontman, Mike Herrera, is going to join us to chat about Seattle Rock Day at 6:20.
The Daly Migs Show.
Listen as Selenia tells us why she chose to vaccinate her daughter.
I definitely felt like the pros far outweighed the cons. The diseases that I am protecting my child against, they're still here. And at the end of the day, it's my job as a mother to keep my child safe.
Talk to your child's doctor and learn more at whyvaccines.com. Brought to you by Merck.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Happy Seattle Rock Day
Yes.
to all of the rockaholics. All day today, we are celebrating by playing some of our most favorite bands from the Pacific Northwest.
From the Mudhoney's to the Mother Love Bones to another band that starts with the letter M, Taryn.
Are you talking about MXPX?
No, Mad Season. No, of course, MXPX.
And so excited. Joining us now is their frontman, Mr. Mike Herrera. Good morning and happy Seattle Rock Day.
Hey, great to be here. What's up, you guys? I'm Taryn, Steve.
I love that we can see you via Skype, and I love that you're rocking the Kraken jersey as well. Big Kraken fan, I hope.
Yeah. I've been to a game this season. Last season we went to a bunch. I've been getting into it. We love it. We got to meet some of the teams, some of the coaches. It's been fun.
Speaking of sports, I don't know, Danny, if you have the audio and if you could hear it, but a few weeks ago, we talked to Ryan Rowland-Smith, who was a pitcher for the Seattle Mariners. He now works for Root Sports. And I've known him for a while, and I've known that he's like a big Blink-182 fan. He's been a fan of like Angels and Airwaves. And so we always have like a little common ground of talking about like punk and pop punk and things along those lines. So this time around, we put him on the spot, not knowing what he was going to say as his answers of his favorite bands. And, well, we have the audio for you to hear.
I'm going to have to go either MXPX or there's another group. I'm going to say Lagwagon was another one, too.
Dude,
a couple of these ones.
Danny just jumped out of his seat when you said MXPX. Of course, the Northwest Zone. I don't know if you ever run into those guys because they're from right around here, and that's Danny's favorite punk band.
I didn't know that.
They're from Bremerton.
Oh, my God. Okay. It just unlocked thoughts in my head right now. I no idea. I love them. Wow. I had no idea.
I just thought that was so awesome. He had no idea that you guys are Northwest dudes. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm XPX.
Yeah, amazing. You know, what's funny is our guitar player started texting him and messaged him, and so they've been talking. So now we're friends. I mean, I haven't met him yet, but it's going to happen.
That is awesome.
It's a small world. It's a big, small world. It's wild out there.
Oh, I was going to say, and speaking of Bremerton, we hear that you guys have a couple of shows coming up at the Admiral Theater with the Ataris.
Yeah, MXPX and the Ataris. We're going to be at the Admiral Theater Friday, June 28th, Saturday, June 29th, 2 nights. So we just can't get enough. And we haven't played Bremerton. It's our hometown, and it's been so many years. So we just we felt like one show wasn't enough. We really needed to go big. So go big or go home, but we're already home.
And I'm actually excited because the new record, which is Find a Way Home, just sounds so damn great. And it's so much fun to listen to. And it's going to be fun to be able to witness and hear some of these songs live as well.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys are all invited. Come out. We're bringing our friends, our family. People are going to be flying in. It's kind of a destination experience without the beach access, but it's going to be fun.
I feel like Bremerton owes you something. I don't know what it is. They name a street after you guys or something. Because even from New York, growing up, I knew of Bremerton, Washington because of MXPX and moved to Bremerton. I feel like there's a lot of people who are fans of punk music that know of Bremerton, Washington only because of your band.
We did get the key to the city a while back. So we have the key to Bremerton. So we're just working on the rest. We need the streets.
Yes.
We need all the buildings. But, yeah, I mean, Bremerton has been just a place that has been, I don't know, a juxtaposition in our career because we started out there. We got our real first big crowds in Bremerton and then started out, going over to Seattle and Portland and Vancouver, BC. Mm-hmm. So we really just started regionally in the Northwest.
We're talking to Mike Herrera from MXPX, and we're celebrating Seattle Rock Day today. So out of curiosity, there's a lot of really legendary venues in the greater Seattle area. What is maybe, would you say, your favorite venue, or one where when you finally got to play there, you thought, oh my gosh, this is it. We made it. We did the thing.
You guys are going to laugh. This is, I might be dating myself, but Rock Candy.
Yes.
It's gone now. That was a place, the OK Hotel. We never actually played the OK Hotel, but I saw some of my first shows there. And I always loved DV8 back in the day, DV8, which was over by the Space Needle. But honestly, the last 10 years or even more than that, But especially the last 10 years, the Showbox downtown has been right by the market, has been just such a fun place to play. We love it. It always packs out. We've sort of made a tradition out of it. I love it. I really can't get enough. It feels like home. It feels like Seattle. It feels like the Pacific Northwest.
It's funny when you bring up some of those clubs and you just think about how much of a great personality the clubs themselves have. Because I think about when I moved out here and you said Rock Candy, I'm like, oh man, those bathrooms were just terrible. And or you say, okay, Hotel Nancy, think of Singles and so many of those bands. Like, the music was featured from there. Or that's what I always loved about Seattle, is that there were so many clubs that had their own unique personality.
Absolutely, there's history, like they say. The walls have memories, and the clubs have a lot of crazy memories, I'm sure. The Rock Candy, I feel like, it's kind of like our whiskey for LA. Or Velvet Elvis, you remember that place? We did our record release party for Life in General, which was one of our biggest albums back in the day, at Velvet Elvis. So it was wild to go from kid in the audience, going to shows there, seeing touring punk bands. I saw Lagwagon and Strung Out play there. The day I got my Pokin' at Ya Punk tattoo on my arm, which is the Pokin' at Ya Punk is the logo for MXPX, and went to that show. And then the next year later, I did enough work. I worked hard enough to where our own band was playing a show there. So it was cool. It's cool how you can kind of see the progression of hard work and how it can pay off. And if you have some sort of vision, even if it's a loose just idea, we can just work towards that. And MXPX has been an amazing experiment in failure and success, just never giving up.
Hey, Mike, if it's okay, if we could just take a quick break to play a song, I would love to pick your brain about being an MXPX, a pop punk band, a punk band in a world of grunge during those times, because I think that's just a fascinating story just to hear about the other bands that were around you that did not fit that genre. And if you wouldn't mind just sticking around, we could talk a little bit more about that when we get back.
Let's do it.
Don't forget to head to KISW.com to help us raise money for Smash. We're going to have more with MXPX frontman Mike Herrera after MXPX on Seattle Rock Day.
The Daily Migs Show.
Rockaholics, we are celebrating Seattle Rock Day, and who better to talk about some history in the Pacific Northwest than Mike Herrera of MXPX. Mike, thank you so much for taking the time and celebrating all things Seattle Rock Day with us.
Absolutely. Great to be here. We're sort of the kids looking through the glass in a lot of ways, when we started out, looking at the scene, looking at Seattle. Seattle was this thing that was like entombed or encapsulated in this magic, right? Because grunge was blowing up. I remember hearing Nirvana for the first time. They were already kind of like getting big. They were on the radio. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was Metallica because his voice was so gravelly, and I was like, I've never heard another voice like that on the radio except Metallica. So I'm like, this must be a very strange Metallica song. And it was Smells Like Teen Spirit, so like I wasn't in on the ground floor of like bands like Nirvana, because being from Bremerton, Washington, we were young, we were kids. That to me was like Mecca in a lot of ways. We also mixed it with bands from California, which is how we kind of got our sound that wasn't as grungy as a lot of the other bands out there, right? So I don't know if you had a question, but I'm just babbling. Sorry.
No, that's pretty much what I was going to ask. Was it weird being kind of like oddball is not the right term, but you know what I mean? Like kind of like the one of these bands in a way doesn't belong, in the sense of like you're this pop punk, brash punk band in a sea of grungy rock bands that definitely had a punk spirit to them, but didn't have that same punk sound. So it's like you guys are all, Seattle was becoming a place known for a certain sound. You guys were not that sound. Was that a weird experience for you because you were blowing up and people were loving you guys, but you weren't your typical Seattle band?
Yeah, like always. I mean, I wasn't like planning my future. I wasn't like thinking about it. So this kind of happened on accident, where we had our own sound, even though our sound was it was definitely similar to bands that we had heard, but there weren't bands that were popular up in the Pacific Northwest, right? So we're in this sea of grunge and metal, and some of the local bands here in Bremerton would kind of make fun of us because we sounded too light. We weren't heavy enough. To me, it was just like, we just keep doing what we're doing. People seem to be responding. Haters gonna hate. Yeah. That didn't exist back then, but like that was the philosophy is you just gotta You just got to keep rolling with it. When we got successful, the more successful we got, the more people that came to our shows, there was also more haters, right? There was more people that, these guys aren't any good. But it's like, but what is it about punk rock? What is it about this band MXPX that made people come see us live and keeps people coming back year after year, decades later? I think it's the energy, it's the connection with the audience. In a world where it's so hard to know what's real and what's fake, especially these days, right? MXPX is real, and I think that goes a long way with people that have been with us, not just 30 years, but even people that have just been with us a couple years.
Well, even Danny from our show, he's rocking the MXPX tattoo. And I mean, put a tattoo on your body of a band that you love. That means that there's a connection that's bigger than just the songs.
Yeah. Absolutely. We love everyone, and we have some of the best fans in the world, and we try to go all over the world. We do what we can, but as always, you play somewhere else, and people are like, "When are you playing your hometown?"
Yeah.
So finally, we can put that to bed. Finally coming back.
Mike Herrera from MXPX. I'm born and raised here. I've never lived out of this state, and I just love it. And you're talking about your fans that are all over the world and having visited so many different parts of the world. Why do you choose the Pacific Northwest? And, what do you love so much about this area?
I was born and raised here in Bremerton, and obviously I've been all over Washington. I've been all over the world. And early on, I just kind of realized that home is where you make it. It's where your loved ones are. And obviously, careers happen. People have to move for certain reasons, personal reasons. But I chose, after spending a lot of time in LA, a lot of time, in New York, I was like, these places are great. But, the Pacific Northwest, Bremerton especially, I love just everything about it. The weather, being able to go out, hike. Our Sasquatch is real. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're
I
looking.
don't see myself ever. A lot of people go, but don't you live in Texas? Part-time. My wife's from Texas, and we have a house there, but we only live there a couple months of the year.
You were on that's right. You were on a reality show in Texas for your home, weren't you?
Yeah. We did Fixer Upper. We were on the last season of the last, and it was a great experience, to be honest. But it was in a weird time. It was like 2018. We just put out a new record. MXPX was really ramping up. We were selling out all the shows we're doing. So it was a really good time to have that kind of extra thing. It's funny because we'll be at shows, or we'll be out in a city, at a hotel, at a gas station, whatever. And an older couple might be like looking at me weird. And then they come up and they're like, "Hey, are you that guy?" And I'm like, this isn't about the band, is it? No. It's always about Fixer Upper in that case.
Hey, Mike, which of the bands, like, the Nirvanas, the Alice in Chains, the Pearl Jams, the Soundgardens, which was the one that resonated with you?
I really loved Nirvana, and I'll tell you a little bit. But before I say why, I really loved Mudhoney.
Yes.
I really loved Pearl Jam, early on Pearl Jam stuff. That's like nostalgia for me, For some reason, I like the more punky stuff, and which is why I got into Nirvana. When I figured out they weren't Metallica and they were a band from Aberdeen, Washington, I was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this. And how are these guys, so good already? And then I realized, okay, this isn't their first album. That's not important. What's important is, like, I just latched onto the melody, to the riffs. Like, I could play those riffs. It wasn't something that was just like out of my realm of possibility. And I think that's what I love about punk rock is I've never been a super, super math type technical person. And some people play that way. They play their guitar that way, their instrument. And I've been more about feel and energy and melody. So, like, I love singing. And so I kind of like approach music that way. So when I heard Nirvana, that was just pure energy, pure emotion, pure melody. Like, I don't even know what this guy's saying, but I like it.
We've been chatting with Mike Herrera from MXPX. Thank you so much for taking the time today. 2 shows at the Admiral Theater with the Ataris in Bremerton, June 28th and 29th. And, of course, the new album, Find a Way Home, is available wherever you get your music. Mike, question, though, can we give you a call back and have you join us for our Seattle Rock Day edition of Beat Migs?
Absolutely.
Oh, we're going to go head to head. Let's do this.
Mike is going to be back with us to play Beat Migs at 6:50.
Daily Migs Show.
Picture this. It's blazing hot outside and you need to get to work. You get into your car and turn on the AC to get cold air pumping as soon as possible. But it doesn't work. Instead, blowing hot air out of your vents and directly into your face. No, your car doesn't hate you. This issue is commonly caused by low refrigerant due to leaks in the air conditioning system. And there's an easy, all-in-one solution that will restore the cold air in no time. There's no need to go to the shop and pay lots of money when you can save time and money recharging yourself with AC Pro Recharge Kits. AC Pro Recharge Kits make restoring cold air easy for even those with zero DIY experience. And the AC Pro app offers clear, vehicle-specific instructions to help you get the job done in less than 10 minutes. So pick up an AC Pro Recharge Kit at any store selling auto products and confidently restore your car's cold air yourself today. Be a pro with AC Pro.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada. Yada yada. Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out, yada yada. And bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hiring for your small business? If you're not looking for professionals on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. That's like looking for your car keys in a fish tank. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't even visit other leading job sites. So start looking in the right place. With LinkedIn, you can hire professionals like a professional. Post your free job on linkedin.com/recommend today.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada. Yada yada. Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out, yada yada. And bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
The Daily Migs Show. Yes. With Taryn Daly.
Hey, have you ever counted before, or is this your first day?
And Steve Migs.
Teenage Steve is ready, willing, and able.
On The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Rockaholics. Personally, I must say that this is my favorite day of the KISW year.
You and me both.
Seattle Rock Day, playing our favorite bands from the Pacific Northwest all day long.
Oh, man, from the Mudhoney's to the Mother Love Bones, Jimi Hendrix, Sir Mix-a-Lot will make an appearance, Macklemore might make an appearance. Of course, we've been talking with Mike Herrera from MXPX. He's going to be playing Beat Migs in just a second as well. And also, I'm excited. At 7:20 this morning, we're trying to talk to some of our friends that have been around the Seattle music scene. And yes, he wasn't on a rock radio station. He was on sports radio back in those days. Mike Gastineau, who's been around for quite some time here in the Pacific Northwest, a sports radio legend in the Pacific Northwest, but also a massive fan of all the Seattle rock bands. So he was around when like the Pearl Jams, the Nirvanas were all breaking big, and they were sports radio fans as well. So I'm excited to get his perspective of what it was like to grow up in the Seattle music scene.
And for all things Seattle Rock Day, you can head to KISW.com.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs.
sure am, because we made it. It's Friday.
A Seattle Rock Day Friday.
Wow. I need to see some headbanging, Danny and Taryn.
We should mosh.
Oh, no. Wow, Taryn's really going after it. Your neck's going to hurt tomorrow, girl.
Call that a bangover.
A bangover.
Wait, I want one of those.
I feel like a lot of girls at WSU. Never mind.
Headbanged. Headbanged at a
Headbanged,
concert.
yes. Yeah, that's right.
That's where the bangover comes
That's exactly
from.
where I was
Everybody
going.
knows that.
Okay.
All respect to all the cougs.
It's Seattle Rock Day, so let's get to Mike Herrera from MXPX. Mike, are you there?
I'm here.
I feel like we've kidnapped Mike all morning.
I know. I love it.
Blink twice if you're not happy about it.
Well, I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
All right, bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Mike has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What band had the hit songs Fell on Black Days and Spoon Man?
Soundgarden.
Yes. What Alice in Chains album became the first grunge album to be certified platinum?
Dirt or wood? I don't know.
No. You get one more guess.
Okay. The crow. The chicken.
No. What branch of the armed forces did Jimi Hendrix serve in?
The Air Force.
No.
The Army.
Yes. Dave Grohl was on an episode of what 90s science fiction drama series?
X-Files.
Yes. Pearl Jam's first full-scale U.S. tour was called what?
Ticketmaster. Oh no, that's probably not correct.
You can pass too.
I would have no idea. The Monster Tour.
No. The Presidents of the United States member Chris Ballou currently does children's music going by what stage name?
Oh, I know this. Oh my gosh. It's one of those things where you knew this until you get asked the question, but it's something Ballou. Yeah, I'm not going to get it.
It's a friendly
Peaches.
ghost.
I've seen him live, which is a sad thing that I've literally seen his children's show live. With
You
my
have?
Kids.
Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. It was amazing.
What?
Something Casper Baby Pants.
There we go.
Can we give it to him?
We're going to give it to him. Absolutely. It's Seattle Rock Day. So, Mike, you got 4 correct.
All right.
Sad. Okay.
We can work with this. We can work with this.
Maybe I'll ask.
All right.
I'll ask Steve the questions really slowly, maybe.
Okay. I don't know what just happened.
Well, you'll find out. Steve, are you ready?
Oh, yes. Wait.
Oh.
Yeah. Here we go. Let me put the blindfold on.
What band had the hit songs Fell on Black Days and Spoon Man?
Soundgarden.
Correct. What Alice in Chains album became the first grunge album to be certified platinum?
Dirt.
No.
Damn it. Facelift.
Yes. What branch of the armed forces did Jimi Hendrix serve in?
Oh, man. I'm going to try Army.
Yes. Dave Grohl was on an episode of what 90s science fiction drama series?
It's got to be Bill Nye the Science Guy.
No.
Oh, wait. X-Files.
Correct. Pearl Jam's first full-scale U.S. tour was called what?
A tour. What? Can you repeat that question?
Pearl Jam's first full-scale U.S. tour was called what?
Lollapalooza?
No.
Touring with friends?
No. The Presidents of the United States member Chris Ballou currently does children's music going by what stage name?
You know, that's Tatum's Jam. That's Casper Baby Pants.
Yes.
Noodles and Butter. Run, Baby, Run.
Mark Arm was the lead singer of Green River and what other band?
Mudhoney.
Yes. Modest Mouse was formed in what Washington City?
Issaquah.
Yes. Heart had the 70s album titled Dog and what?
Pony.
No. Steve, you got 7 correct, which is a win, 7-4.
Man.
I was rooting so hard for you, Mike.
In my defense, I didn't remember that I can pass on stuff, so I wasted all my time just thinking about Pearl Jam's tour. Like, what could it be?
Did you get it right?
No, I did not.
They had a name.
Why would I know their tour name?
I know, right?
Well, Steve, it's your favorite album.
10?
The 10 tour.
The 10 tour?
I thought of that, but I was like, that's dumb.
You should have said it, Mike. You should have said it.
It's too easy.
Wow.
The 10 tour?
Yes, that was their first U.S.
Mike, you know what else is
tour.
dumb? That question.
Well, congratulations, Steve, on beating Mike.
Man.
Can I answer the heart question?
Yes. Their 70s album, Dog and... Wait, Mike, do you know Dog and what?
I don't know that.
Butterfly. Dog and butterfly. That was me doing a really bad Ann Wilson.
Yeah. Heart was never my jam.
Heart was
Yeah,
never
me
your
neither.
jam. You guys.
I don't hate Heart. I mean, I respect what they all I know is Barracuda, and that's about it.
That's it. What about Magic Man?
Okay, I know it, but I'm not listening to it.
Well, happy
You hear it
Seattle Rock
enough
Day.
if you just walk around the Pacific Northwest, like Seattle enough. You're good.
They just shove that
You're
heart
gonna hear
down
it.
our faces all the time.
All right, I want to rematch one of these days, but now that I understand.
We'll make it happen for sure, but we'll at least let you out of captivity now. We can. I know maybe you have Stockholm syndrome now. You like being around us. I'm not sure, but we've kept you long enough, man. But thank you. Like just hearing your stories and being able to celebrate Seattle Rock Day with someone who put Seattle on the map for a completely different vibe in punk rock music, man. And I think I speak for a lot of us. We're all big fans of MXPX. Love the new record and excited that you guys have a couple shows over at the Admiral Theater.
Thank you so much, man. Thanks for having us. We love it. And as long as people keep coming, we'll keep playing.
And it's June 28th and 29th with the Ataris, Admiral Theater, MXPX. Going to be a blast.
Yep, tickets on sale. You can go to mxpeaks.com if you're looking.
Big thanks to Mike Herrera for
Hell
joining
yeah.
us this fine Seattle Rock Day. And don't forget to head over to KISW.com to help us raise money for Smash. This is also the 30th anniversary of Kurt Cobain's passing. And 30 years ago, one Seattle radio personality, Marty Reamer, had the difficult task of breaking that news about Kurt on the air. Marty's story is beyond crazy about how he got the news, and we will chat with him after Nirvana.
The Daly Migs Show.
Today is Seattle Rock Day, and last week marked the 30th anniversary of Kurt Cobain's death. Back then, Marty Reamer, a radio personality for KXRX, is the one who got a call about Kurt when the electrician called him. The story is crazy, and we chatted with Marty last week about it, so if you missed it, here is Marty Reamer.
Yes, I was working at KXRX at the time, a radio station that, if I remember my radio history correctly, KISW crushed.
Can we go back to that time? Because, I mean, that's something that's come up quite a bit in the Seattle days. Whenever we talk about, like, when's the first time you heard about it? I remember over the years, people would say, I was listening to Marty Reamer, and you had the unfortunate task to go on the air and share the news that you found out before anybody else did. Could you take us back to that time of how you found out? What was the feeling like when you shared that news and just your overall connection to the music of Nirvana?
Yeah, well, just a little bit of backstory. So, yeah, we were working at KXRX, but KXRX had already been announced to the staff that we were changing format and that it was going to be a country station and everyone was going to be let go. So that was the mood in the building at that time. Wow. And so no one took radio very seriously because we knew we were all short timers. And in fact, that's why I was on the air. I was filling in for Robin and Maynard, who had already taken leave of the station. They'd left the building. And I was doing news at the time. And our producer, a guy named Larry Firo, came in and said, there's a guy on the line. He says he has the story of the century for you. And I said, okay. And we punched up and it was this guy who said, oh my God, I have got quite a story for you. I work for an electrical contractor and one of our guys is out on location at the home of Kurt Cobain and he's lying there next to a shotgun. He's committed suicide. I'm not sure he got through the entire story the first time because we thought, okay, kook on line one, right, gone, hung up on him. The guy calls back a minute later and says, now, don't hang up on me. This is true. And he goes into a little bit more detail, says, the electrician was walking by, he's installing an alarm system, was walking by a window and saw the body laying there. And I'm thinking, still, you're nuts. If this were true, we would certainly not be the first ones hearing it.
Right.
And so I didn't believe it. So we shut him down again. And then he called the front desk at the radio station. And I thought, man, if this guy is a nut, then he is really committed to his story. And our producer thought, well, you know what I should do? I have a friend at the Seattle Police Department. I'll call. And he called the Seattle PD and said, is there anything going on perchance at the home of Kurt Cobain? And they said, we've sent a cruiser to his house. That's all we can say. And as soon as we heard that part was legit, we felt like likely because of the detail that the guy had provided, that the rest of the story was also true. Although, having said that, I mean, because back to your original question, we still didn't believe it. We thought it's not going to be Cobain. It's going to be some fan who was trying to show his allegiance to Cobain and decided to do something crazy and shot himself in Cobain's house. And I mean, there were many scenarios that we could dream up, many of them also horrible, but that didn't involve Cobain having committed suicide. But we went on the air with it saying, we have a report, tentative at best, that Seattle PD has been dispatched to the home of Kurt Cobain. And there is a suspicion that there is a suicide victim, and it may well be Kurt Cobain.
Wow.
And when we said that, yeah, you have to kind of put yourself in our shoes. We weren't taking radio very seriously at the time. We thought, well, we're going to be unemployed in a week. You know, what's the matter? So we didn't believe it, but we thought, yeah, we'll just share what we know so far. And then the phones went nuts. I mean, it went nuts, not like a typical radio station, you know, where people from Seattle were calling. We were getting calls from South America and from Europe, and the Associated Press was calling, and then horrible, like, it was Kurt's sister or his mom, one or the other, called up. And then we were like, oh, Lord, we do not want to be the ones to have told his family that he's passed on. So anyhow, that's the story.
And obviously that was, you know, the biggest story of that.
Of our generation.
Time.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously that day was very chaotic for you. But how long did the chaos continue beyond that first day?
Oh, beyond the first day? All I know is that I was stunned at how much the chaos continued that day. I mean, the chaos that day was insane. When we actually were off the air then, just, you know, I think 45 minutes after we got the call, we were off the air. And then we drove down to Cobain's house and stood there again to try to legitimize this, to try to see, was this really what was going on? And it was anyone who's been to that house before, have you guys ever driven by the place?
A couple times.
I haven't.
It was a gray, drizzly, I mean, kind of a typical spring day in Seattle, but really gray and dark. And the house, you know, you kind of look up this curved driveway at the house and you could see a little bit around the corner. And then you go to that park next door where at that time you could look right down onto the garden house where he actually committed suicide. It just seemed like a haunted scene and creepy. And that's what was most vivid in my memory as they're looking at that scene around the house at the time.
Marty Reamer, thank you so much for joining us this morning to talk about that experience. You're the only person that can tell that story, and I'm so glad that you told it to us this morning.
And my pleasure. Take care, you guys.
Take care, Marty.
Today is Seattle Rock Day, and even though he was doing sports radio back when the Seattle music scene was just blowing up, he is a huge fan of the bands.
Oh, yes.
Ended up becoming buds with a lot of them. We're going to chat with the Gas Man, sports radio legend Mike Gastineau, about Seattle Rock Day at 7:20.
The Daly Migs Show.
Hiring for your small business? If you're not looking for professionals on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. That's like looking for your car keys in a fish tank. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else, even those who aren't actively searching for a new job but might be open to the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't even visit other leading job sites. So start looking in the right place. With LinkedIn, you can hire professionals like a professional. Post your free job on linkedin.com/recommend today.
Man, that sunset is gorgeous.
Grill, patio, sunset. Hard to get better than that. Unless you're browsing Carvana's inventory while you soak it all in.
Oh, burger time.
So sit back, get comfortable. Carvana's got thousands of cars under $20,000 just waiting for you.
I could stay here forever.
Carvana, where car buying meets comfort, meets convenience. Download the app or visit Carvana.com today.
Looking for a job is lonely.
endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
Rockaholics, today is Seattle Rock Day. We are celebrating all things Seattle music, and for the 5th year in a row, we have partnered up with one of our favorite local organizations, SMASH. That is Seattle Musicians Access to Sustainable Health Care. And they're just amazing, all the work that they do with local artists in this community, and you can learn all about them. Even make a donation to support SMASH at KISW.com.
Have you seen the auction that we have? It's just amazing stuff that's signed by Duff McKagan, of course, from Guns N' Roses, Alice in Chains stuff as well. A chance to drink with the boys in the men's room, and the bidding all ends tonight at 6 p.m. So definitely go to KSW.com and place your bid and help raise some money for a great organization.
But right now, we are very excited to be joined by the one and only Mike Gastineau, the Gas Man. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. What a treat to be here. How's everything going?
Dude, we're doing great, man. It's so great to hear your voice. And when we were talking about doing Seattle Rock Day, and I know like you a true legend in Seattle sports radio, but also a true Seattle rock music fan as well. Like, I've always enjoyed hearing your stories and seeing your pictures of your time hanging with some of the guys in Pearl Jam and some of the dudes in other bands as well. So we thought it'd be really fun to get your perspective on the Seattle music scene, especially back in those days.
Well, it's funny. I was thinking about this, and it's great to get a chance to talk about it. I got here in June of 91. Is when I moved to Seattle. And I'd love to say that I immediately started going to shows and seeing all these great bands, and I didn't. That wouldn't be true. I was really focused on my career and wanted to spend any free time I was a big music fan. I loved music, but the free time I had was either going to games or hanging out with people in the sports business, trying to get to know them and really get my career off the ground. And then in doing that, I come, the music just starts happening. The September of 91 is when so many of the great albums come out in the span of about a week. Mm-hmm. I remember there was a time, I think it was either late 91 or early 92, I was sitting around the radio station and we had a copy of Billboard. And I want to say like 9 of the top 30 albums on the rock chart were Seattle bands.
Right.
It was just an amazing time. I came to find out that a lot of them were sports fans. And so you'd see them at various games and stuff. So I just started bumping in to guys. Primarily, the first guy was Jeff Ament, lived right across the street from where KJR studios were at the time. And he was a big Sonics fan. And so I would just see him occasionally. I met him at the 92 NBA All-Star game and got to know him a little bit. We sat on an airplane on the way home from there. And I remember this specifically because they couldn't pressurize the cabin for landing. I don't know if you've ever been on an airplane where there's like something wrong. And
right.
The pilot's like, look, there's nothing wrong with the plane, but we can't pressurize. I said, well, that doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound like it's going to work out great for us. It did, but he and I were sitting right next to each other and just kind of, the gallows humor you fall into at that point. But that's kind of how it was everywhere. Every time you turned around, there was another great show. Every time you turned around, there was national coverage of it. And the Seattle sound was a thing. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just a bunch of bands that happened to break from out of here. There was a sound, as we all know, and it's reverberated for, over 30 years now of a style and kind of a mix that worked for the music up here. And it was really neat to be at the epicenter of it and see it happening and kind of have just an armchair look at it.
It's funny you mentioned Jeff, and obviously with Pearl Jam, and I'm sure a lot of Pearl Jam fans obviously know this little fun fact, but it is, when you think about Seattle and the band and love for sports, I mean, their original band name was named after a basketball player, and even their first record, there's so many nods to basketball and how much they love the sport, especially Jeff.
Yeah, they were Mookie Blaylock, and I want to say when they started doing shows, I think it might have been Kelly Curtis who was managing him and said, well, you got to come up with another name. This guy, he doesn't want a band named after him. And they're still young enough, and I don't want to say naive enough. They probably knew that, but like, all right, well, we got to come up with something, different than Mookie Blaylock. And Yeah, there's definitely, and the thing I remember the most about Sonics games, particularly at the old Coliseum, and then it extended into Key Arena too, was the number of musicians you'd see at them. A lot of people from bands were coming to the games. They wanted to be a part because the Sonics were such a hot ticket. I mean, Seattle was a hot ticket anyway. Think about it. I mean, Nintendo was coming out of here. Starbucks was coming out of here. Microbeer was in a lot of places, but Seattle was one of the places where the micros were starting. Music was coming out of it. There was so much culture kind of whirling out of Seattle. It was just amazing to be a part of it. And at the center of all that, I always say, the hottest nightclub in town was a Sonics game. Everybody wanted a ticket to that game. They were sold out and they were exciting, and they played this crazy kind of basketball that would fit in with today's NBA, but didn't really fit in with the NBA of the early 90s. High flying, running, gunning, fighting with each other, fighting with the other team, fighting with their coach. It was just such a dynamic time, and people wanted to be there. And a lot of times you'd look around and just you'd recognize, that guy's in Soundgarden, or that guy's in Pearl Jam, and it was fun to see it. It reinforced what a small town Seattle can be at times, and it feels it gets bigger and bigger, and that's just part of it, I guess. But at the time, it felt smaller.
We're talking to Mike Gastineau on Seattle Rock Day. Mike, we're talking a little bit of Sonics history right here. Out of curiosity, in your career, what is your most prized piece of sports memorabilia from Seattle?
I've got one that I do. I'm not a huge memorabilia guy, but I have a handful of things. And I've got, I can't say how I got this because I don't think I was supposed to get it. But when they demolished Key Arena to build Climate Pledge Arena, which is a beautiful new facility, and a person I know gave me the media credentials sign for Key Arena, and it's in the Sonics colors and the Storms colors, and it just, so it has a sign that says media credentials with an arrow, pointing to where the media entrance was. And I walked by that sign probably, I don't know, hundreds of times in my career. And I got a call from somebody and said, "Hey, you want something kind of cool? I found something I think you might like." And so I've got it's in my garage, pointing to the door that comes in my house. For all the times I get home and can't remember how to get into my house, I follow the media credentials. I bet if I go through here, I'll be all right.
Follow the sign. Hey, Mike, if you wouldn't mind, we're going to put you on hold for a second. We're going to play a song, but when we come back, we have some more questions. We definitely want to talk about more of what you experienced when you were living here during the time of the craziness with Seattle rock music.
And also, don't forget to head to KISW.com today to help us raise money for SMASH. That is Seattle musicians' access to sustainable health care. I see you right now, Steve Migs. You're checking out some of the auction items.
We've raised a couple $1,000s so far. Our goal is $14,000. So we're $12,000 away from hitting that goal. So we need the help of the Rockaholics. This helps out all the struggling musicians, whether it be dealing with their hearing issues, health issues, mental health issues, dental issues as well. SMASH does great stuff for all the local music artists and the entire music scene.
So head to KISW.com to check out all things SMASH, and we will have more with Mike Gastineau after Mother Love Bone on Seattle Rock Day.
The Daily Migs Show.
Seattle Rock Day rolls on, Rockaholics, and we have been having a lovely chat with the one and only Mike Gastineau, the Gas Man, and we want to continue that chat right now.
Hell yeah.
So, Mike, with all of the different incredible music venues that we have in the city, do you have one that kind of rises to the top and has maybe become your favorite place to see a show over the years?
I'll give you a couple. I'll lament I loved the Backstage up in Ballard, which closed years ago. That was such a cool little venue. My niece actually worked there for a long time. It was a great place to see shows. The Showbox is my favorite. I think the Showbox it's got a national reputation for a reason. It's got all the different levels. So, you're in a club, but you generally can get a pretty good view of the band. The sound is incredible. The vibe is incredible. I was lucky enough to see Pearl Jam in there twice for their secret tour launching shows that weren't really all that secret. And I've seen a lot of other great national bands in there. And then, kind of down the street from where the Backstage used to be, I've always liked the Tractor. I think it's a neat venue for the shows they do. And I could go on. I like the Neptune. I'm at a point in my life where I like shows in those size buildings. I still go to a lot of stadium shows. I like the big event. I get why that's fun. But you get a good musician in an intimate venue, and it can be a real special night.
So if you had to pick one band that would be your Seattle band, is it Pearl Jam?
Yeah, definitely. And I love the Presidents. Sir Mix-a-Lot did a lot of work with us over the years, and I loved him and loved what he's done over the years of staying involved and mentoring so many young people. And but Pearl Jam would be it. Again, I met him. I can't quite say I was there for the Mookie Blaylock days, but I met him fairly early on. And I don't know them all real well. I know Jeff a little bit. I know Mike a little bit, but I knew their management. They're just, and this is such a cliche, but it's true. They're just good people from top to bottom. They were blessed with this incredible talent to make great music, and then they were blessed with the fortune of having a couple of very successful albums, and eventually kind of getting the financial picture in shape to where I think are in pretty good shape. And so they decided, well, why don't we give some of this away? And I don't know, I may be overlooking somebody. I know there's a lot of bands that are generous. I can't imagine too many bands have done more over the years than Pearl Jam. They've cut so many checks to so many organizations. They've got a foundation that's a part of their organization. I just admire the music and the stories and the shows would have been enough. And then they elected to do all this other stuff, which, people will say to you something, well, so what? They can afford it. It's like, that's not the point. They're doing it. It's easier not to do it. It's easier to sit around and not do stuff. And this is coming from a guy who retired a few years ago. Trust me, it's easy sitting around. I love it. It's my favorite job ever. Doing stuff requires effort. It does require the capital too, and it requires a generosity of spirit, and they've got that. And I've always just been, almost like, I'm not, but almost like a parent. I look at them and I'm so proud of you boys, and they're only a couple of years younger than me, but I'm just, they could have gone the other direction and lived as recluses and had big mansions and 10 different sports cars and all that. And
I would have.
I know. Well, that's how you've always been, since your donkey days. I really thought we were going to talk about the donkeys more, but that's another story altogether.
We'll do that on Seattle Donkey Day.
Call me for Donkey Day. But yeah, I love PJ and love what they've done over the years. And again, it's come truly from the heart, and their willingness to just not even think about controversy and embrace people and causes and things that need a voice. And it's not always everybody's cup of tea. But once they decide you're their cup of tea, they're in, man. They're going to help you and do what they can. And so again, on top of all the great music, I've always admired them for that.
Mike Gastineau, thank you so much for taking the time and celebrating Seattle Rock Day. What an absolute pleasure this morning.
Can I be a typical radio guy and tell one more story? Because I had this in my notes and I wanted to get this in. Here's the difference between Seattle and other music scenes. Sports songs notoriously are brutal. I mean, they're corny, they're cheesy. And I'll throw out the one everybody knows that is the corniest and the cheesiest, and nobody's driving around listening to this today unless they're having a huge nostalgia kick, and that's the Super Bowl Shuffle. Everybody knows it, but come on, nobody's... Now, add a little Seattle to that, and you get a song in 1993 for the Sonics playoffs that Sir Mix-a-Lot did called Not in Our House. And if you put that on, it sounds like it could have come out today. And then he followed that up with Kings of the West Side. And that was a Sonics playoff song. And that sounds contemporary and hip and cool and in no way corny. It sounds great. And then the Presidents redid their song Supermodel and did it for Supersonics. And the same thing that it to me, and that's kind of the Seattle music thing. People in the business, they don't do stuff half-assed. They've got this kind of slacker image, and they sit back. Oh yeah, whatever But when they do stuff, they do it 100%, and that's an example. That's another way that the sports community and the music community, for me at least, mixed. So it's a delight for me to be here, and I could talk until midnight about all the great memories and shows and the great people I've met. And I love both of you guys, and great to be on this. You've got my number. Call anytime.
Absolutely, my man. Thank you for sharing these stories. And now I'm gonna have to go back and listen to some Sir Mix-a-Lot and the Presidents. Make a Seattle sports playlist, man. That's awesome.
Do it. You won't be unhappy.
Gasman, thank you so much. And also people can find you at gasman206.com.
And also, don't forget to head to KISW.com.
Hold on, I'm enjoying some presidents right here, Taryn.
Crank it. Sonics. Oh, yeah.
Not just the regular team.
That was such a jam.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder, Gas Man.
If you head over to KISW.com, Rockaholics, we are raising money for SMASH, which is Seattle musicians' access to sustainable healthcare. Easy peasy, make a donation, you're in, you're helping out. But also, Steve Migs, what would you say is your favorite auction item in the auction?
I'm torn. The Duff McKagan Funko Pop figurine that's autographed, that's pretty sweet. Also, the Jerry Cantrell signed vinyl and a guitar pedal that you could get. You could bid on that right now. And if you don't want to bid on any of the auction items, but you do want to help out, just donate $5, $10, $500, whatever you got, whatever you can help out with. Right now, we're about $2,000 raised of our goal of $14,000. So we could use the Rockaholics' help.
Let's go. And Rockaholics, we know that at some point you have had a ridiculous run-in with the law, one that you will never forget. So call us up now as we want to hear your story. Plus, that story is going to give you a chance at winning tickets to see AEW Dynamite in Everett at Angel of the Winds Arena. Give us a call at 206-803-ROCK, and we'll take your calls at 7:50.
The Daly Migs Show.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You've probably heard about generative artificial intelligence, but are you vigilant to its exploitability? Generative AI is shaping society and transforming our daily lives. While we want to embrace the potential, we must also set the standards for responsible use and safeguard the future of our digital world. HackerOne employs over 2 million plus ethical hackers, 750 of them specializing in prompt hacking and other AI security and testing. The creative approach taken by a diverse pool of ethical hackers is the best way to discover vulnerabilities. When launching new AI deployments, let HackerOne's AI red teaming address the novel challenges of AI safety and security for your business. AI innovation can only be effective if models are tested for safety and security issues that could cause harm. Make sure your AI models and deployments can't be tricked into providing information beyond their intended use, and that security flaws can't be exploited to access confidential data or systems with HackerOne. Learn more about our AI red teaming today at hackerone.com/AI.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada. Yada yada. Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out, yada yada, and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic with 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors. Pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime, made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Today we celebrate Seattle Rock Day, and KISW will be playing everyone from Heart and Grunt Truck to Queensryche and Mother Love Bone.
Oh, it's nice to hear Mother Love Bone this morning. It's my favorite day of the year. And also, it's become even more of my favorite day because we're helping raise money for a lot of musicians that are in need of help.
Absolutely. Seattle musicians access to sustainable health care. They help uninsured musicians, underinsured musicians get access to all of that health care that's so important to live a life where you're thriving. And we're looking to raise $14,000. Steve, how are we doing so far this morning?
Rockaholics have stepped up. Earlier we were saying, hey, we only got about $2,000 raised so far. Now we're over $3,000. So the Rockaholics have been chipping in and helping out. Any amount helps, from $5 to $5,000, Taryn Daly.
You can head to KISW.com to donate and also check out some of the great stuff up for auction.
Now on the Daily Migs Show.
Damn. Some birds aren't meant to be caged. Yet, here we are, butt naked, eating soggy bologna sandwiches. Figure it's time to get busy living and get busy winning.
Let's play Cellmates.
Cellmates is where lawbreakers become game changers. And this week we are playing for tickets to see AEW Dynamite at Angel of the Winds Arena. That is coming up very quickly on May 15th. So let's meet.
Wait. It looks like we had a prison break. One of our cellmates has gotten away.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what happened to John, but he's not there anymore.
Oh, well, sorry, John.
So now we only
have
one cellmate now.
We have one cellmate. It's the Interstate Hauler in Seattle.
Nice.
I'm just curious, what does one have to do to get a $2,000 fine?
Well, good morning, guys. And I will tell you here, a couple of years ago, we had a buddy of ours that liked to play, tricks and all stuff on us. So we're like, okay, we want to play this game, we'll play that game. Well, when you got to come up on a construction site, Steve, that has those big round barrels, like barriers that light up and flash, letting you know you're okay. Well, we decided we took 10 of those, put them in the back of my pickup truck. We drove them out to his house about a mile down the road, and we plastered them all out in his yard at 2 o'clock in the morning. We went and hid inside the brush across the street, and we called the police. So, of course, they showed up, and they woke him up, and he's just, we don't know. We are just literally laughing our asses off. What's going on? And they actually turned around and had him put in handcuffs, and that way they were like, okay, wait a minute. We came out of the brush. Hey, whoa, man. Hey, I'm sorry, that was us. And he looked at me and my buddy, and he's like, you son of a you-know-what. And I'm like, hey, we were playing a prank on him, man. It was our fault. He likes playing pranks on us. We're playing pranks on him. Well, of course, the police are like, well, we about put your buddy in jail. I said, yeah, I understand that. So he's like, well, you need to take these back to where you got them and put them back. And we did that. Well, they also notified the city because it was their job site. And when they found that out and got our information, we got a $2,000 fine for removing barriers off an active construction site.
Damn.
Yikes.
But Hauler, the ultimate prank would have been having your friend get arrested. But I appreciate you guys standing up, being honorable dudes, to be like, hey, don't arrest him. It was all on us.
Interstate Hauler, we got great news. We have your cellmate back on the line. It is Mike in Auburn. Mike, you got into a fight and got arrested way after the fact.
Yeah, this was about 20 years ago. I got into a fight. The guy I got into a fight with didn't like it, so he called the cops. They came by my ex-girlfriend's house about a week later to question me, read me my rights, all that stuff, and then they just left. And then 2 months later, I was driving home from work. All of a sudden, I get pulled over, and the cop's like, you have a warrant out for your arrest, and you have to spend 24 hours in holding to cool down. Because it was technically assault. So.
Oh, my gosh.
Can I ask, do you remember, I don't know, maybe just being dumb guys get into fights all the time, but do you remember why you guys got into a fight?
I was pretty sure that he had slashed my tires because we had like a verbal altercation the day before.
Uh-huh.
And then the very next morning, my tires were slashed.
Oh.
So I kind of found him later on that day and was like, hey, man, did you do this? He's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, well, here we go.
Well, hey, points for honesty at least.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Holler now hung up. We are having the worst luck with our phones today.
We don't know if this is like a Seattle Rock Day curse or what is happening, but we lost the Interstate Holler. So, Mike, we're going to pivot on the rules of this game. Here's what's going to happen.
Yes.
All you have to do to win the tickets.
What did Holler do? He's trying to win these tickets. I know he's a big wrestling fan. He shared the story and then he just hung up.
Mike, all you have to do, I'm going to ask you up to 3 questions. All you have to do is get one of them right.
Okay.
Does that sound fair?
Sounds fair to me.
All right. Mike, your first question.
We had 2 prison breaks in one game.
2 prison breaks. Mike, in what decade did Dick's Drive-In open?
70s?
Wrong.
That would be the 1950s. They're actually celebrating their 70th anniversary this year. They
That's
opened
awesome.
in 1954. All right, Mike, next question. Which historic Seattle theater is older? The Moore Theater or the Paramount Theater?
The Paramount.
Oh,
man. We're down to the wire.
Come
you
on,
have to get
Mike.
this one right, Mike.
Are you ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
Can I ask a quick question before I ask the actual question? How great is your Seattle music trivia knowledge?
50.
50%. Okay.
All right. Your question, Mike. What was the nickname of the Seattle Seahawks linebacker, Brian Bosworth?
Oh, God.
He had a really cool haircut.
The sound wave. I don't know.
That would be the Boz.
So sorry, Mike, but thank you for playing.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
You rock, man.
The weird abbreviated version of Cellmates.
It's been the strangest one, but you know what? You got to give props to Interstate Holler. He turned himself back in. Now he's on the phone.
Oh, my God.
Can we give him one question? One question.
Interstate Holler, you're back.
I'm back. I got cut off. I'm like, all of a sudden I hung up, and I'm like, no!
Oh,
right.
no. All right. Are you ready for your question?
I'm ready.
So, wait, are we going to do the same thing with him?
Just one question.
All right.
One question.
All right. Interstate Holler, which is taller? The building KISW broadcasts from in downtown Seattle or the Space Needle? Which is taller?
Well, I believe I want to actually stay as where you guys broadcast from. I know the station is like 800 feet. I think you guys are taller than that, so I'm going to go where you guys broadcast from.
The Space Needle is 605 feet tall, and where we broadcast from, the Bank of America Tower, is 543.
What is happening?
It's a Seattle Rock Day version. Nothing goes right.
Nothing goes right at all. But hey, good effort, everyone. So all morning long, we are raising money for the incredible folks at Smash so that they can do all the great things that they do for local musicians in our area. And what exactly does Smash do for local musicians? We're going to chat with Laura from Smash after Aaron Jones.
The Daily Migs Show.
Rockaholics, today is such a glorious day. We are celebrating Seattle Rock Day and playing all of your favorite music from in and around the great Pacific Northwest.
So the Screaming Trees, the Soundgarden, the Nirvana. We've always said it's our favorite day of the year, and it has been for several years. But for the last 5 years, it's taken it up an extra notch because we're doing something great with a great organization.
They're called Seattle Musicians Access to Sustainable Healthcare, otherwise known as SMASH. And today our goal is to reach $14,000 to just continue to support the amazing work that they're doing in the lives of local musicians.
A lot of musicians are struggling and they don't have health insurance. They're not able to get things taken care of. So this is an opportunity for us, the Rockaholics, who enjoy their music, enjoy seeing them live at shows, to kick back a little bit and or kick in some money, $5, $10, $100. Plus, there's some incredible items that people could bid on as well.
And it's KISW.com where you can take a look at all those auction items, make your donation. And who better to chat with us this morning about what Smash is doing in the current day than the board chair herself, Laura. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning. How are y'all doing?
We are doing awesome, and thank you so much for being part of Seattle Rock Day.
Yeah, thank you for having us. We're so excited that we're partnering with you for the 5th year in a row.
And Laura, thank you so much. And we try and explain exactly what Smash does, but I feel like for our audience, maybe they've heard us talk about it. We're trying to explain to them what you guys do, but I feel like who better to explain exactly what Smash is doing and how it helps out so many people in our music community than yourself.
Yeah, of course. Smash is a nonprofit organization founded by musicians for musicians. So we help keep Puget Sound musicians healthy by providing free and low-cost access to primary health care, medical, dental, vision, hearing, substance use disorder resources, and really critically, we support musicians in navigating the very complicated healthcare system so that they can get the help and the support that they need.
So, Laura, let's say hypothetically I am a musician and I want to learn more about Smash.
Don't sell yourself short. Taryn has played the saxophone.
I do. I play one song on the saxophone.
Careless Whisper. Yes.
So as a musician that I am.
Thank you.
What would be step one for me to learn more about Smash and get involved with the organization so that I can, take advantage of some of these amazing benefits that you guys put together for musicians?
So step one is to go to the website, smashseattle.org, and sign up to become a member. It's free. It's really easy. And we have wonderful staff who will walk musicians through the process and connected to services and just kind of help them navigate the system and get what they need from the organization.
And might I recommend smashseattle.org? I'm on it right now, and there's a banner that has different testimonials from different local musicians talking about the things that Smash is. And I really implore a lot of people who are listening just to go on the website and read some of these comments about getting dental work when they were dealing with bad dental issues for 30 years, to getting them custom earplugs, to healthcare, mental health care as well. The stories and the testimonials from some of our local musicians. I mean, it's going to hit you in the gut for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually do have a favorite quote from a Smash member that one of our staff sent to me. And this person says, it just makes me choke up a little bit, Smash has shown me that there are people who care about artists and understand that we need care just as much as the next hardworking human.
That's absolutely true. And that's what we're doing on Seattle Rock Day.
Yes.
And some of the auction items, by the way, we're talking with Laura, who's the board president for Smash. Some of the auction items that your team has helped put together are so amazing, and people can bid. I believe the bidding closes at 6 o'clock tonight. Everything from, I think there's
autographed
Jerry
Duff
Cantrell.
McKagan, Duff McKagan stuff as well. Opportunity to go beer tasting with or drinking with the men's room. Incredible concert packages as well. Some just awesome looking items for people to bid on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're so lucky. We partner with such wonderful people, including KISW, and I might just be bidding on that beer tasting with the men's room.
Hey.
Be careful what you wish for, Laura.
I think it would be a lot of fun, actually. But yeah, I mean, we've got great partners like Westland Distillery, and of course, bands like the Black Keys donated, Jerry Cantrell, like you said, Duff McKagan. So yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. Go check it out.
Well, Laura, thank you so much for taking the time to chat a little bit more about Smash with us this morning. Such an important organization to our local communities. And if anyone wants to learn more about Smash and about Seattle Rock Day, they can head to KISW.com. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much.
And now headed to our accounting department, Steve Migs.
Yes.
Where are we currently sitting with donations for Smash?
You don't want me to be ahead of the accounting department. I might
You don't want to be the bean counter?
No. Well, we have a goal of reaching $14,000 right now. We are now at $500 more raised, so we're at $3,500, just a little bit over that. That's our goal to raise $14,000. Also, check out the auction items that you can bid on, and the auction ends tonight at 6 p.m.
Today is Seattle Rock Day, so we are very excited to chat with a Seattle legend that was hanging with your favorite rock stars while he was hitting home runs for the Seattle Mariners. Mariners Hall of Famer, The Bone, Jay Buhner, joins us to chat about Seattle Rock Day at 8:20.
The Daily Migs Show.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada.
Yada yada.
Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out,
Yada yada.
and bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Tired of sifting through countless supplements? Unsure of what's actually effective? Introducing Legion, the choice of over 800,000 discerning fitness enthusiasts. With all natural products, clinically effective ingredients, doses, and hassle-free money-back guarantee, you can achieve your fitness goals without the unnecessary guesswork. Say goodbye to wasted efforts and hello to results. With Legion, you don't need supplements to build muscle, lose fat, or get healthy, but the right ones can help. Visit LegionAthletics.com. Go to LegionAthletics.com to get 20% off your order now.
Rockaholics, a very happy Seattle Rock Day,
Yes.
one and all. Without question, one of our favorite days on the calendar for the year.
It's all the music we love.
Yes, Pearl Jam, Mother Love Bone, Mad Season,
MXPX earlier.
Jimi Hendrix,
Yep.
Heart, a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. And we're raising money for Smash as well. So go to KISW.com to help donate money for all the struggling artists out there that need some kind of form, whether it be medical help or dental or just mental health as well. We're here to help them out. And any amount, $5, $10, $100, all of it helps Smash give money to people who are in need. But we're very excited about what we have right now, Taryn Daly, because, yes, we're talking about Seattle music, but a big part of that Seattle scene back in the 90s was, of course, the world of sports. The Seattle Mariners were on top of the world, and a big reason why was because of the man, the myth, the legend, a member of the Mariners Hall of Fame. He's the reason why I shave my head, the bone himself. And you know what? We need the right music for him.
Yes.
Jay Buhner. You didn't know what?
I guess, right?
I went to a Buhner buzz cut night, and it never grew back.
Well, same with me. That's why I shaved mine. I had the cul-de-sac working, and it got to be a little ridiculous. So I'm like, hair is overrated. Off you go, baby.
Dude,
Thanks to Chris Bosio.
And the minute you get rid of it, it's so freeing because now it's just like in the mornings, I don't have to worry about doing anything. And thankfully, my wife,
It's like, what took me so damn long to do this? Golly.
How many of those buzz cut nights did the Mariners do back in the day, Jay Buhner? Do you recall?
I don't know. I know the first time it was ever brought to my attention, it was Kevin Martinez with our PR department.
I love Kevin.
Who's the greatest man in the world and still rocking it with the Mariners and is a godsend for them. And he said, "Hey, I got this great idea. We're going to do a Buhner Buzz night." And I said, "Stick it. I ain't doing that. There's no way in hell." I go, "That is the corniest PR ploy." I said, "I'm not going to do it, Kevin. Forget it." So he let it go because I got a little hot, as I was known for being. And then we come back from a road trip, and he goes, "Hey, I'm just letting you know that, this homestand, we got that Buhner Buzz." I go, "You SOB, you went and put it on there anyway." And he goes, "Dude, it'll be a blast." And so the first year, I think it was like 1,700 people, and then it just grew. The last couple of years, it grew and grew, and I think we had 25,000 plus. The last 2 years, we tied it in with Locks for Love.
Awesome.
And it just had a mind of its own. It was pretty awesome, pretty cool, and it was always great to go out in right field and see that whole section out there rocking the bald head and the bones. And so, yeah, it brings back fond memories for sure.
It might be a silly question. Obviously, lots of dudes are doing it. How often did you have any females come up and want their head shaved?
I think there was a total like 750. I remember one year I was out there and they had a lady that was almost 80 years old. It was a super hot day and she was getting overheated. So they took her inside and put her in the air conditioner. And then they came and got me. And then I went out and shaved her head. And I was like, "Ma'am, are you sure you want to do this?" She goes, "Yes, I love you. I would do it for nobody else. You're like my grandson." And I'm like, "Okay." And so I shaved her head. I was a little nervous. Don't get me wrong. The last thing I wanted to do is take a little nick here or there, but it was pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of women,
especially towards the end that we're doing it. And again, I was like, you sure you want to do this? But when they tied it in for Locks for Love and that, I mean, it really took another step for sure.
I'd also be nervous of Grandma's family showing up, be like, Jay Buhner, what did you do to Grandma?
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, for a lot of people, it grows back thicker. So, but for some of us, it was the writing on the wall. We should have done it a long time ago, as we talked about earlier. So, it was just, I will say though, after that, this was like after BP, I had about an hour before the game started. So when it was all said and done, I went out, shaved some heads, did the whole deal. I ended up shaving my dad one year, my sons, which were screaming bloody murder because they hated it. But then I had to go in. Think about this. I got to go in, get ready for a game. I got hair, other people's hair all over me. I'm sorry. Come on, gross. And I got to get in the shower and get all that stuff off and then go out and play the game and then try to rock and hit a home run for the fans. So, I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, but it was pretty awesome, but it was also pretty gross, having all that hair. I was kind of like, oh, man.
Did you ever have to shave it
all over the place?
Did you ever shave a teammate's head, too?
Yeah, I shaved Norm, a couple of guys. Yeah, there were a couple of guys that decided they would rock it and shave their hair.
We're talking to Seattle.
A couple of guys that they shouldn't have done it.
Some people don't have the head for it.
We're talking to Seattle Mariners legend Jay Buhner. Now, when you first came to Seattle, this is right at the height of the, kind of the Seattle sound coming up. What do you remember about just kind of being a part of the Seattle sports world while the Seattle music world was also exploding?
Well, I mean, that was the great thing. When we started to get locked in, when Lou came in and kind of brought in all of his coaching staff in 93, and we made a run in 94, and unfortunately the strike hit, and we were on a pretty good run. And then 95 started, and everybody knows how special 95 was.
Oh, yeah.
You're right. We kind of had control of the city, man. We were the team in the city, and it was great to take that crown and run with it and make the most of it. And we had a hell of a run, and it was a hell of a good time and a lot of fun, a lot of tailgating, but man, we had all sorts of who's who walking through our clubhouse. I mean, Pearl Jam was in there all the time because Randy Johnson was good friends with all those guys. I mean, we had Queensryche, we had Nirvana coming through. I mean, every day it was like a who's who of up-and-coming superstar in the music scene. So, I mean, we go to Toronto, and then Randy would bring in Rush. I mean, it was like everywhere we go. It was really cool. I mean, and then, sometimes during certain homestands, they would bring in certain acts. And so we got a chance to get right on the field, right on the stage with some of these bands that were playing after the game. And so we got a chance to see a lot of great bands in their heyday. It was really cool. Cool to rub elbows with.
Who was your favorite to rub elbows with? Like, who was your favorite to chop it up with around here?
Well, all the Pearl Jam guys were in there all the time. So those guys were awesome, and Queensryche guys were awesome, and we had some country acts come through. And Marshall Tucker, I love the guys with Marshall Tucker. Got a chance to hang with those guys because I'm a Southern rock guy, Texas boy, and Allman Brothers, greatest band ever in my opinion. To get a chance at some of the country acts we got a chance to hang with and go backstage with, from anywhere from Pat Green all the way to, it was Alabama. We got a chance to see them all. It was really cool.
Hey, Jay, if you wouldn't mind, we have to play a song real quick. Would you mind taking a quick break with us and we come back? I have a very, very silly question I got to ask you that happened many, many years ago when I met you in the locker room at a Mariners game. I think you'll get a good kick out of it. But if you wouldn't mind sitting through it, I'd love to share that story with you.
You got it, bud.
Also, Rockaholics, don't forget to head over to KISW.com where you can help us raise money for Seattle musicians' access to sustainable health care. Steve Migs, how are we doing on the Smash donations this morning?
We're doing great. Over $3,500 raised. We're hoping to hit $14,000 by the end of today. So, Rockaholics, if you have a couple dollars to spare and you can help out some of our local musicians, that would be awesome.
Let's go. And we will have more with Mariners great Jay Buhner after the Foo Fighters on Seattle Rock Day.
The Daily Migs Show.
Seattle Rock Day is happening all day long, Rockaholics, where Not only are we playing our favorite music from this area, but we're also supporting Seattle musicians' access to sustainable health care. You can head to KISW.com for all things Seattle Rock Day. We are so excited, though. We've been chatting with Seattle Mariners legend Jay Buhner, and I know that Steve Migs has a very important memory to share.
Okay, this is a stupid story that I wanted to share with you. I hope you don't mind, Jay, because I think you'll get a kick out of it. So, this is when I first started working in radio forever ago. This was probably like in the early 2000s-ish time, maybe late 90s. And I was able to get access to go to the locker room, interview players, many media people get to do. I was so shy, so scared. And a lot of people and Jay, you're this imposing figure. You're larger than life. And sometimes you were just too busy to talk to some people. You had stuff going on. And I remember I came up to you and I was like, hey, can I get an interview with you? And you're like, where you work at? I think you said something and I said, I work at the rock station. I was working at the end at the time. And you're like, can you give me an Alice in Chains CD? I'll talk to you. And I was like, oh. So the next time I came, I had a bunch of CDs, including Alice in Chains. And you said, did you bring the CDs? And I showed you that. It was Alice in Chains. I think it was the music box, the box set. I was like, I got it. You're like, all right, let's chat. And we ended up having a fun chat. And all the other, the sports media nerds are all like, how did you get that interview with Jay Buhner? I'm like, Alice in Chains, baby.
Well, you know what? You ask and you shall receive. All I could say was no. But when you bring a good party gift, how can I say no to something like that?
I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, I don't even know if you remember it. You probably don't. But I was just like, man, that just shows it doesn't matter where we are in life. A free CD will make you do whatever you want. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll chat with you for.
That's if it's free, it's me and give me three. Something as simple as can be for you guys, but means a lot to us. And so that was all part of rubbing the elbows. And dude, we had you guys on in our locker room. We had everybody pitched in. We got a killer stereo system in our locker room. And the starting pitcher that particular night always got the chance to pick the rock and roll station or the country station or whatever they were listening to. Most of the time it was classic rock for sure. And a lot of times it was Alice in Chains or Pearl Jam or those or Nirvana or those because whenever Randy was pitching, that's what he wanted to listen to. So, nice. Yeah, man. We were rocking all the time in that locker room, as I'm sure you heard. Especially after we won a game, we had that crap cranking, baby. And Seattle was the music scene. In the early '90s and mid '90s, it was going, man, and it was a great city and great place to live and great place to go hang out and eat, and then you had the music scene, a lot like Austin. They share the same similarities. And being a Texas boy, I was partial to that. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It made when you play 162 and 185 days, it gets a little monotonous. So some good old classic rock and some good old grunge rock always helps out for sure.
If you're a Seattle Mariners fan, then you remember that Jay Buhner's walk-up song was "Bad to the Bone" by George Thorogood.
Boy.
But Jay Buhner, if you had to choose a song from Seattle as your new walk-up song in 2024, hypothetically, what song do you think you might choose?
I don't know, man. I'm all about George Thorogood. Seriously. He was the man, and he was a huge, huge baseball fan. And one of my collectibles, all sports people collect a little something. And one of my favorite things I have in my collectibles is, back at the time, it was, you got a wire, and it was from George Thorogood, and it said in '95 when we won and we were going to the playoffs. He sent a message to me saying, you guys are truly bad to the bone. So I have that signed by him and in my deal. So that's pretty cool. Again, that goes back to, sports fans or rock and roll fans and country fans and vice versa. And you see a lot of it nowadays, especially, when you get a chance to meet these guys, it's relationships you keep for life. So it's pretty cool.
And we're chatting with Jay Buhner, Mariners legend. So, dude, thank you for taking a few minutes out with us. I do want to ask you one last thing, because obviously a lot of us were talking about Curb Your Enthusiasm over the weekend and how it was the season finale and a series finale and Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Love those guys.
You got to think about
those guys.
Dude, you were a part of the Seinfeld history. That, to me, is one of the coolest things and one of the greatest episodes of Seinfeld. Does that still blow your mind that you were part of one of the most iconic television shows and you were a story arc on that show?
Well, but especially when you don't get a chance, they don't mention sports figures very often.
Right.
You know, Keith Hernandez a little bit, myself was on there. So, and then I got a chance to, we got it all those got a chance to kind of go on the air together in a roundtable discussion, talk about that. It was pretty cool with Ken Phelps and everybody. So, heck yeah, every time that comes on, they play that replay. My phone still blows up. People still call me and said, hey, it was on again. Because let's face it, it was arguably one of the greatest shows ever.
Agreed.
I mean, brilliant show, funny as can be. We do something in life, some stupid human trick at some point in life, or we're picking our nose and we get caught. I mean, it's like a skit. Everything is a skit from Seinfeld. I mean, and people, and you ask anybody now, they'll repeat a phrase from Seinfeld episode. So yeah, heck yeah, that was pretty awesome. I mean, I get remember more about being on Seinfeld or Northwest Motorsport than I do the people ever known I played. Really.
Tell them the Bone sent you.
Oh man,
yes, ma'am.
Jay, you've left such a great legacy in this town. I mean, everyone loves Jay Buhner, and it's an honor getting to chat with you, and it's just fun to get to chat about the Seattle music scene with you as well, and also just share some silly stories and silly memories about your time here in the Northwest.
Well, you guys know I love Seattle. Seattle's got a special memory for me, and it'll always be special to me, and I always get up there as much as I can. So anytime, guys, my best to you all. Always a pleasure, and thanks for having me on. Go Mariners.
Go Mariners.
Right on, Jay. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, guys. Take care.
Can you guys imagine for a second what would happen if Steve Migs beat Migs on Seattle Rock Day?
Can't happen. Won't happen.
I want it to happen.
No.
Rockaholics, if you would like to beat Steve, please give us a call, 206-803-ROCK. He is currently 92, 25, and 13 in 2024. We will play Beat Migs at 8:50.
The Daily Migs Show.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic with 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors. Pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime. Made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas. Boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
Looking for a job is lonely. Endless searching, phone calls that go nowhere, applications that vanish into thin air. What if you could link with dozens of local companies who are hiring right now with just one connection? That's Express Employment Professionals. Find us at expresspros.com. One connection, endless opportunities, and no fees ever for job seekers. Express Employment Professionals. expresspros.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader. Like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
Tired of sifting through countless supplements? Unsure of what's actually effective? Introducing Legion, the choice of over 800,000 discerning fitness enthusiasts. With all natural products, clinically effective ingredients, doses, and hassle-free money-back guarantee, you can achieve your fitness goals without the unnecessary guesswork. Say goodbye to wasted efforts and hello to results. With Legion, you don't need supplements to build muscle, lose fat, or get healthy, but the right ones can help. Visit LegionAthletics.com. Go to LegionAthletics.com to get 20% off your order now.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic with 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors. Pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime. Made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas. Boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
What's up?
Well, it's what's down that's got my attention.
Oh?
Look at that long snake.
Snake? Oh, traffic. Those are cars.
I know they're cars. I'm being metaphorical. If I were a human, I'd ride that Bel Air airport or shuttle. Look at it. It gets you to SeaTac quickly. You can sleep, look out the window, be productive, and it's in the HOV. Hey, maybe it stands for heading on vacation.
Bel Air Airport or Shuttle with 8 round trips daily. Click airporter.com to book your trip today.
The Daily Migs Show presents the most popular radio game on this side of the speaker. Let's play Beat Migs. Beat Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! Beat Migs, you're a loser.
Who's ready to beat Migs? I know I sure am, because we made it. It's Friday.
Friday, motherfucking Friday. Everybody's ready for the weekend.
Taryn took her jacket off.
It's just rude.
You're going for it.
Friday, motherfucking Friday.
I love her.
Is epic.
Shout out to Gwen. We met her at the Seattle Kraken game, and she wanted to give us her version of the Friday song.
Which I wish was the real version.
Friday, motherfucking Friday. Everybody's ready for the weekend.
Her voice. It sounds so raspy and angry.
Kraken won 5-0. There was a lot to cheer about in that game.
That is very true.
Yeah, from a few days ago.
Let's get to our contestant, Alan from Ballard. Alan, are you there?
Yes, I am. Happy Seattle Rock Day.
Woo!
Hell yeah, Alan.
I'm Sarah, your host, and it's time for you to get out of here, Steve.
Bye-bye.
For those playing at home, Alan has 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. You can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Ann Wilson is the lead singer of what band?
Heart.
Correct. What band had the mid-2000s hit song Float On?
Modest Mouse?
Yes. Temple of the Dog was formed as a tribute to who?
Andrew Wood.
Yes. All My Life and Times Like These are songs off what Foo Fighters album?
Pass.
Pearl Jam guitarist Mike McCready joined Alice in Chains frontman Lane Staley to make what band?
Season.
What was that?
Mad Season.
Yes. Lucy and the Long Goodbye are albums by what band?
Candlebox.
Yes. Magnified Plaid is better known as what Bremerton punk rock band?
Pass.
What band had the mid-90s album titled Super Unknown?
Soundgarden.
Yes. Anthony L. Ray is better known as what Seattle singer?
Pass.
What Foo Fighters drummer passed away in 2022?
Taylor Hawkins.
Yes. All My Life and Times Like These are songs off what Foo Fighters album?
I don't know.
Alan, you
crushing it.
7 correct.
Nice.
I am so impressed. And the ones you didn't know, you passed. And the ones you knew, you got right away. Okay. I would love if you beat Steve.
Oh, yeah.
But he is so good at this.
And Steve is also such
A nerd.
a Seattle music dork.
He is.
And I think that this could be a very close battle.
Whew. Let's find out. Steve, are you ready?
Friday, motherfucking Friday.
Ann Wilson is the lead singer of what band?
Heart.
Yes.
Heart.
What band had the mid-2000s hit song Float On?
Modest Mouse.
Correct.
Modest Mouse.
Temple of the Dog was formed as a tribute to who?
Andrew Wood.
Yes.
Mother Love Bone.
All My Life and Times Like These are songs off what Foo Fighters album?
that One by One?
It is.
That's
Pearl
a
Jam
great
guitarist Mike McCready joined Alice in Chains frontman Lane Staley to make what band?
Mad Season.
Correct. Lucy and The Long Goodbye are albums by what band?
Candlebox.
Yes. Magnifying Plaid is better known as what Bremerton punk rock band?
Danny's Boys and MXPX, baby.
Yes. What band had the mid-90s album titled Super Unknown?
Soundgarden.
Yes. Anthony L. Ray is better known as what Seattle
Sir
singer?
Mix-a-Lot.
Yes. What Foo Fighters drummer passed away in 2022?
Taylor Hawkins.
Wow, well, would you look at that? He got a perfect 10 with a lot of time still left. He's perfect.
Thank you. Say it again with your chest.
He's perfect.
Yes. Call me Kurt Hennig.
Steve, you won 10-7.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there.
I have an extra credit for you.
Okay.
What happens if he gets it wrong?
Alan wins.
Wow.
It was either that or my original thought was we smack you, but I thought that was a little too mean.
That's kind of funny. I was about to say Tyron can punch me, but I was like, why am I even throwing that
I mean,
out
we
there?
are raising money for Smash, so I could smash you in the face.
Okay. Is that
Deal.
what we're doing?
I love it.
So Pearl Jam guitarist Mike McCready joined Alice in Chains frontman to make Mad Season. Do you know the original name of that band before it was Mad Season?
Wow. Before it was Mad Season, were they called River of Deceit?
No.
Were they called? Oh, I know what it was.
No, you don't.
Yeah, Lane and Mike's washboard band or
Okay,
jug band.
you deserve to lose and to get smacked for that.
It's Lane and Mikey's jug band.
It's Gacy Bunch.
Oh, the John Wayne Gacy. You're right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Look
Dropping
that.
some knowledge on us this morning.
You're welcome. Even to Steve, who got a perfect 10. Congratulations.
Well, I'm glad that one doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, today is Seattle Rock Day, and all morning long, we have been talking to guys like Jay Buhner, sports radio legend Mike Gastineau, Mike Herrera from MXPX, and if you missed them, you can check out the Daly Migs podcast. But now, we want to talk to you, Rockaholics. We know many of you have incredible memories from the Seattle music scene, and we want to hear your stories. So give us a call now, 206-803-ROCK. We will celebrate Seattle Rock Day with you after the Screaming Trees.
The Daily Migs Show.
Today is Seattle Rock Day, where KISW plays everyone from Hart to the presidents of the United States of America, even Macklemore.
Even Macklemore.
Even Macklemore.
Why not?
Well, he's a rockaholic.
What about Ray Charles? Someone texted in. How are we going to play some Ray Charles?
Everybody is invited to this party.
Everybody gets played.
It's so true. And we've partnered up with Seattle Musicians Access to Sustainable Healthcare going on 5 years now. We're looking to raise $14,000 to support the amazing work they're doing in our communities. Steve Migs, the auction, if you were to bid on one item, which one would you bid on?
If I had to bid on one, oh man, there's a few good ones in here. The men's room, beer tasting with the men's room, that would be a lot of fun. You could bid on that. I think it would be the Jerry Cantrell signed vinyl and pedal, which I think is just such a cool. I mean, the vinyl part I think is really cool, but it's I don't know why, but the guitar pedal I think would just be like a cool thing to put on display.
There's also a package
and it's right now, I mean, the bid's not, I mean, it's not cheap, but right now it has 7 bids. It's at about $250.
Yeah.
And I think the pedal's probably worth that much.
Easily.
Yeah. So what about you?
So there's a package for Hotel Crocodile, which is the hotel above the new Crocodile. And the hotel is awesome. I've stayed there twice. And you get to stay and then get a pair of priority access tickets to an upcoming show. It would be rad.
And right now, the current bid's at $200, which I think might be cheaper than what it would be to get a room there.
Considering I have stayed there twice, yes, that is cheaper.
Boom, let's make it happen, man. And also, if you don't want to bid on any of the auction items, maybe it's a little too steep for your wallet, but $5, $10, $15, everything helps raising money for Smash.
So head to KISW.com and check it all out. So all morning long, we've been looking back at our favorite memories from the Seattle music scene, and we now want to hear your stories, Rockaholics. So give us a call, 206-803-ROCK. Stephen and Everett, you want to talk about the first time you saw Devils Hunt Me Down?
Yes, I do. Good morning, everybody. How we doing?
We're doing great. I'm glad you brought this band up. What a really fun... Yeah, this is that band right here. What a fun local band that I've always enjoyed seeing live as well.
Quick backstory. They played... Well, you got me into window pane, Migs. Thank you, Glenn, also. And I met Christopher, the guitarist, and I was talking to him. He gave me a link to his band's album. Like, okay, loved it. And then they played at Tony V's like 2 months later. I'm like, oh my God, this band is flipping amazing.
They are great
and
live.
Like, But the thing is, I don't know. You can't describe them. That's what I love about it. The best thing I could come up with is, you know, you've heard of the band Clutch?
Yes.
Yeah.
I call them Clutch Light. It's probably an insult, but that's the best way I can describe them because Matt looks like Neil Fallon from Clutch, and that's about it. That's like, I don't know how else to describe them.
I think that's a great
so
comparison.
I wouldn't be bothered if someone compared my band to Clutch because they do have that cool stoner, bluesy rock vibe to them. And Matt, shout out to Matt, the front man. Love that dude.
And Ian and Christopher, too. And
No, I'm not
Matt
going to give
plays
those guys shout outs. They're trouble, those two.
Matt plays a 12-string guitar the whole set. You don't see any other guys in front bands who play 12-string the whole set.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Well, right on, Steve, man. We appreciate you bringing some more, I guess, recognition to a band like Devils Hunt Me Down.
Joe in Oak Harbor, you saw Queens of the Stone Age in a bar back in 97. They were really tied to Seattle back then.
They were kind of a local band back then.
Hi, guys. So, yeah, I just turned 21, and my buddy was living in Everett. And he got he found out that the band, you know, Queens of the Stone Age, was playing at the Casbah, which is a bar.
Yep.
And I don't even know if it's still there.
I don't think it is.
So.
It was so epic. I mean, we didn't know who this band was, but I mean, the sound was just, you know, it was awesome. It was great.
Joe,
just being in a bar.
When you saw those guys, was Matt Cameron playing drums? Because in the early version of Queens of the Stone Age, before they ever recorded anything, Matt Cameron was jumping on drums with those guys.
I believe so.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, because they came out in, 96?
I think.
Basically, like right at 96. And then, yeah, I mean, and like a year later, I mean, they weren't even big. It was like seeing these guys and like, who are these guys? And then now it's like, whoa, man, we actually saw like a really big rock band in a
small bar. Yeah, at that time, it was just like, oh, that's the dude from Caius. He's got a new band. And Josh from Caius. And now all of a sudden, Queens of the Stone Age, I think many more people know who he is from Queens as opposed to Caius.
Oh, it was great. It was great. Great times back then.
Hell yeah.
Rock on, Joe.
Back when Seattle was cool, guys. Yeah, I said it.
Rockaholics, we know that you are a massive music fan, but could you name a song after only hearing 1 second of the chorus? Prove it. And if you do, you could win tickets to attend a Pearl Jam listening party before the new album even comes out. 206-803-ROCK. We'll play a Seattle Rock Day version of Hook or Shook at 9:20.
The Daly Migs Show.
Look around. You can find cars like these on AutoTrader, like that car riding your tail. Or if you're tailgating right now, all those cars doubling as kitchens and living rooms are on AutoTrader too. Are you working out and listening to this ad at the same time? Well, multitasking pro, cars like the ones in the gym parking lot are for sale on AutoTrader. New cars, used cars, electric cars, maybe even flying cars. Okay, no flying cars, but as soon as they get invented, they'll be on AutoTrader. Just you wait. AutoTrader.
For those in the market for flavor, there's Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, a flavorful drink that's a modern twist on a Mexican street classic with 4 vibrant and refreshing flavors. Pineapple, watermelon, hibiscus, and cucumber lime, made with a splash of real fruit juice. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas are perfect for any fiesta, small or big. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas, boldly authentic, vibrantly flavorful. Drink responsibly. Modelo Spiked Aguas Frescas flavored beers imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. Hibiscus contains juice only for color.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Daily Migs Show presents the Extreme Music Showdown. Let's play Hook or Shook. Please sign this waiver before we continue. Thank you. We'll drop a 1-second snippet of the hook of a song. If you can't name the song, watch out. You're gonna get shook.
Time to play Hook or Shook. This week we're playing for tickets to experience Pearl Jam's Dark Matter in the dark.
In the Dark.
A special one-night-only global theatrical experience that happens this coming Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, April 16th at Regal Meridian 16 in Seattle.
In the Dark.
In the Dark in Seattle. Our contestant this morning is Kevin in Arlington. What's up, Kevin?
What up?
So you've got to get both of these songs right to win. The first clip, you'll be on your own. The second one, this is where you can get shook because a member of our show at random must get it right for you.
And today, it's a Seattle Rock Day themed version of Hook or Shook. So they're going to be, there's your hint right off the get-go. It's a Seattle or a Pacific Northwest-based band.
So if we don't successfully make this happen, then caller 9 is going to get those tickets instead. So let's see who you are playing with. Me, Migs, or Sarah.
Past me, just past Taryn. I believe. Oh, you are paired up with Alice in Chains' biggest fan, Sarah.
No.
I wanted to play today so bad. I'm so sorry, Kevin.
I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of hoping it would be Sarah since she's all proud of her Alice in Chains t-shirt that she's wearing today.
Also, Kevin is my dog from the Stilly River area, Arlington, Stanwood. We're like basically neighbors.
Have you guys crossed paths?
Yep.
I don't know, Kevin. Have we ever crossed paths? Not yet.
No, I'm sure I hear your voice in public one day.
And then you
just
run.
Yelling in public. Yeah, then get out.
Aaron Daly?
All right, Kevin, are you ready for your first song?
I'm ready.
Oh,
God. Can you play it again?
I got it. Sarah does not got it.
I
have no
I
idea.
know the next lyrics. If that could help.
You think you know the lyrics?
I think. But I'm going hungry. I'm going hungry. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good hint right there.
Kevin, are you familiar with that song and artist?
Man, I know the song, but I can't think of who sings it or the name of the song. Is it I'm Going Hungry?
Well, we're gonna give you a hint here. We're gonna give you a hint because it's Seattle Rock Day.
I say for the song, when you're hungry and you're protesting, you're on a
strike. Hunger strike.
There's our song and the artist.
Okay.
Pearl Jam?
Oh, man, Kevin, why'd you guess? Now we can't. Look, we have no integrity, but you just gave us no option.
Oh, sorry, Kevin.
Kevin, we love you, man, but what was going to be your hint?
I was going to say a Seattle supergroup in honor of Andrew Wood.
Oh, I was going to go with a church where canines hang out.
Temple of the Dog.
Baby.
Can we hear the other song just for fun?
Yeah, fun fact, I mean, I know obviously a lot of people here love that song, and it's a great tribute to Mother Love Bone's Andrew Wood. And Temple of the Dog, the name of the band, that's a lyric from one of their songs, where it like, seems to be living in a temple of the dog.
Just like that?
Exactly like that. I mean, some people have always said my singing voice is very similar to Andrew Wood and Mother Love Bone. Yes.
It was insane. I thought he was in the room.
Yeah.
Hey,
it was very trippy.
Before Danny plays us the clip, we do want caller 9 to give us a call, 206-803-ROCK. You're going to win those tickets.
And they get to talk to Sarah, who just failed, Andrew.
Yeah, but Sarah,
I did not totally fail. I sang.
I want Sarah to stay in the room and try to guess this one as if she was still playing.
All right. If you get it wrong.
What? Yeah. Smashed in the face.
You can take it off, not here, or we'll give you a different shirt. You have to take off your Alice in Chains shirt and cut it up.
Oh, my Lord. Not of her favorite band.
Yeah. Why would I agree to this? What do I get it if I get it right?
Ego boost.
Oh, wow. I can't wait.
Fine.
All right, let's play this clip.
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
Rooster by Alice in Chains.
Yeah. That's what's up. Okay, you don't have to cut up.
You win nothing.
All right, Danny, take the scissors back.
That was fantastic.
Sarah, you came through.
Do you want to hear a dumb connection to the song that I have forever?
Of course.
Whenever I hear that song, I think somebody's in the bathroom.
Oh.
Because back in the day, before things were all computerized, I was working at the end. And back then, we had to pull CDs. Back in our day, and when you want to play a song, you just had to play the CD, or the commercials were on these things that looked like 8 tracks called carts, and nothing was computerized to where you could just like hit a button and then you're good for like the next 15 minutes. So whenever you had Nature Called, you had to find a long song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the perfect song in alt rock at that time that we would play regardless, but it definitely came in handy, was Alice in Chains Rooster, because it's like a 7-minute song.
Yeah.
It was that or the Filter remix of the Crystal Method song Trip Like I Do.
Oh, that's a great song.
I think that one was also like a 7-minute song. So whenever I would hear those songs, especially late at night, because late at night, you had nobody to say, hey, come watch the board for me while I go run in the bathroom. So when that song was playing, I'm like, oh, Bob's pooping.
You know how I know about Alice in Chains Rooster is from the movie This Is 40. And again, Paul Rudd has he's been part of a lot of movies that just he introduced me to Rush and I Love You Man. But in This Is 40, he's like a record rep who's he's like, this is good music. And he puts on Alice in Chains. And
I remember that.
His daughter's like, you can't dance to this. And he's like, yeah, I can. He just kind of sways from side to side.
I forgot about that, but you're right.
So good.
Such a great song.
It is.
Pooping and dancing. That's what we think about when we hear Rooster. I'm sure Jerry's proud.
Yes. Rockaholics, if we talked about something this morning that you would like to talk about, call us up now, 206-803-ROCK. We'll check in with the Rockaholics after Nirvana.
The Daily Migs Show.
All morning long, we have received text messages and phone calls from you that we've not yet had a chance to chat about, but the time has come. We are checking in with the Rockaholics, brought to you by the Law Tigers. 206-803-ROCK. Anything that's on your mind this fine Seattle Rock Day, please give us a call. But before we get to those calls, big thanks to Mariners Hall of Famer Jay Buhner for joining us earlier this morning.
The Bone.
Celebrating Seattle Rock Day with an absolute legend.
So many texts from people were like, it was so cool to hear Jay Buhner just talk about his connection with the Pearl Jam guys and all the other bands from the Seattle area and how much of a fan he was of the music. And we learned that a lot of the members of the Mariners were listening to that music in the locker room.
Totally. And Steve Migs, you asked Jay Buhner a question about Buhner buzz cut nights.
Yes.
Because you guys have the same haircut. I think that's pretty cool that you brought it up.
We inspired each other. And of course, the whole premise is you shave your head, you get a ticket to go into the game on Buhner buzz cut nights or days. And yeah, I had to bring up this question. It might be a silly question. Obviously, lots of dudes are doing it. How often did you have any females come up and want their head shaved?
I think there was a total like 750. I remember one year I was out there and they had a lady that was almost 80 years old. It was a super hot day and she was getting overheated. So they took her inside and put her in the air conditioner. And then they came and got me. And then I went out and shaved her head. And I was like, ma'am, are you sure you want to do this? She goes, yes, I love you. I would do it for nobody else. You're like my grandson. And I'm like, okay. And so I shaved her head. I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The last thing I wanted to do is take a little nick here or there. But it was pretty awesome. Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of women, especially towards the end, that were doing it. And again, I was like, you sure you want to do this? But when they tied it in for Locks for Love and that, I mean, it really took another step for sure.
I'd also be nervous of Grandma's family showing up, be like, Jay Buhner, what did you do to Grandma?
750 women that shaved their heads, and we tracked one down.
We did.
It's Jennifer.
How did we do that?
Jennifer in Marysville, you had your head shaved on one of Jay Buhner's buzz cut nights.
Yes, I did.
That's amazing.
It's awesome.
So take us back to that. To those times, did you have like a long hair, short hair, and then what made you decide? You know what? Screw it. I'm getting my head shaved. I'm going to a Mariners game for Jay Buhner.
My husband was in the Army at the time. His head was basically shaved. I asked him if I could do it, and he and a bunch of guys from Fort Lewis and I went up there, and I was the only one of them to get my head shaved. And I just recently did it again on February 10th. So, pretty short right now.
That's amazing. And I got to imagine you were getting so many high fives from everybody that was at the game when they saw you getting your head shaved. And then, when you got your head shaved, then you're all in like a section, aren't you?
Yes, we were. And honestly, I think it was 2001. I'm 60. I don't remember a lot of it, but...
That's fair. I can understand. I was like, forever. Isn't it crazy that 2001 is that long ago? And that was the last great year for the Mariners.
Exactly.
Jennifer, do you think, as a Mariners fan, is this going to be our year?
I can hope so.
Rock on, Jennifer. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for calling and telling us about that. You rock, Jennifer.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Ask and we shall receive. I thought he was going to say maybe 50 tops women or even be like, dude, like a handful. When he said over 750 women had their head shaved for Buhner Buzz Cut Night, that was That's crazy.
I can't even imagine. I mean, my hair grows slow. I can't imagine how long it would maybe take to get my hair to grow back.
I could be wrong. But if you had a couple too many drinks in you, I feel like you would do that. Right? I think Tarantula, the dark side of Taryn Daly, would definitely get her head shaved.
Maybe not for Mariners tickets, but for something. For something. Well, today is Seattle Rock Day, and artificial intelligence has struck again, as it wrote a song for us and Seattle Rock Day, and it's pretty trippy. You're going to hear it at 9:50.
The Daly Migs Show. The Daly Migs Show. With Taryn Daly.
I do know all about the nut milk.
And Steve Migs.
Danny and I, we do shower beers after every show.
On The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
The internet is so great. There is a website where you can type in a song idea and artificial intelligence will just write a song for you on the spot.
And not just right on the spot, like within seconds. This is so trippy. The website is called Suno, and you can just write a couple little words in there, and then it just creates a song, music, vocals, lyrics, and it does it all for you.
So you've done this recently.
I have.
What did you tell the website to do?
I said, can you write a rockin' song about Seattle Rock Day for our show, the Daly Migs Show? And I just left it pretty much at that. And I was more out of curiosity, and look, this ain't winning a Grammy, of course.
Well,
you know what? You're right,
The bar
Danny.
is very low.
Sometimes, ask Beyonce, apparently it's super low. No. But it's impressive what it's able to crank out within seconds and how good it sounds. It trips me the F out, Taryn Daly. Are you ready to hear the Seattle Rock Day song, which they titled? I didn't even come up with the title. It's called Emerald City Anthems.
Treat our ears to this.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
In the heart of the city where the rain never ends, where the dreams are born and the spirit transcends. It's the place where legends were birthed in sound. Seattle, the birthplace where grunge is found. We all gather around for Seattle Rock Day. Cities renowned, serene day and Steve Migs on the radio waves.
That's us.
Songs through the noise that creates. Hey Seattle, let your guitar scream from the mountains to the deep
right?
downstream. Raise your hands high, let the music ignite as we rock the city through the day and the night.
Breaking it down.
Whoa.
There you go.
That's the new anthem for Seattle Rock Day.
Isn't that weird how good it? I mean, within seconds.
I liked it.
I didn't hate it.
I'd listen to that. I'll probably, if you send it to me, I'll listen to it on the way home today.
I'll send you a link to it. Yeah. And then out of pure curiosity, I have not even heard this version yet. Like, literally, we were just about to go back on, and I was like, you know what? I wonder what kind of song I would write about our friend Sarah.
Oh, no.
So all I asked it to put together is, I said, hey, can you write a hip-hop song about Sarah from KISW and how she loves stripper poles and boxed wine?
Oh, here we go.
Let's go.
And the song is called, I have no idea how this
Does
is
it
going to
have
sound.
expletives?
No. It's all, I think it shows you the lyrics. There's no bad words. I don't know what it's going to sound like. The song is titled, though, Pole Dancing and Boxed Wine.
Oh, nice.
The newest hit about our friend Sarah.
Sarah on the airwaves, she's the queen of kiss. Rocking the mic, cause she's got a style that's all her own. She's got a taste for the wild side.
Yep.
Nothing to lose, loves to strip, propose, and box wine. Always in the zone. Oh, dancing and box wine, that's the kind of party. She's got the moves, yeah. She's got the flow. Sarah's living life away. The swag is so saucy. Pole dancing and box wine. She's got the radio show. Late nights on the dial. She's keeping it real. Spinning the tracks and driving the listeners wild.
Spinning the tracks? Keeping it real?
The fire you can feel. And when the show is over, she's ready to go wild.
I love this. I'm like weirdly turned on, but I know it's a robot. So I don't know how to feel right now.
You want to get with the rapper?
Yeah. stripper poles and boxed wine. What more could you want?
Okay, they give you two versions. I think I like the other one already.
Did I get another one? Ooh.
Same lyrics, just a different version of the song.
That is amazing.
And again, I wrote that within seconds and put it out there.
Scary.
It is. It's kind of trippy.
The robots are freaking me out. Rockaholics, there is a reboot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But is it going down a darker road? We're going to tell you all about it during the Daily Migs download after Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
The Daily Migs Show. Knowledge is power. So give us 5-ish minutes and we'll give you, some interesting stuff you can talk about at work. This is the Daily Migs download.
AKA the DMD.
Here's your daily dose of doings happening in the world.
And the DMD is brought to you by Palace Law, and happy Seattle Rock Day to everybody. The day continues. We'll be doing it all day long. Ryan Castle, the men's room as well. Also, be sure to go to KSW.com to bid on some of the great auction items. Thanks to Smash for helping us put these together. Great autograph pieces, concert experiences, hotel experiences. We're all trying to raise money for Smash, and we're over $3,600 raised so far of our goal of $14,000. I know we can accomplish that by tonight. So once again, happy Seattle Rock Day.
Yes.
Go to KSW.com. Hey, and congrats to the Kraken. What a... How do I spin this? I mean, they finished the season almost.
Congrats, it's over.
Well, at least at home it's over. They still got a few more games on the road. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's season 3, and it's been a fun run. I've had a blast seeing the games. And last night, even though they didn't win, it was cool to see the players on the ice after the game signing autographs, giving jerseys to some of the hardcore fans. It was a cool vibe in that sense. The game itself, well, screw you, Devin Cooley. This young goalie for San Jose just stopped everything. 49 saves. He was unstoppable. The Kraken had 33 shots before the third period even. They were just trying, but this kid was stopping everything. Up next for the Kraken on the road to finish up the season. They're going to be playing in Dallas and they have a few more games after that.
Quick question. Is it weird to have a crush on a cartoon character? Because I always had a crush on Raphael of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I always thought you were a Donatello kind of guy.
No, always Raphael.
Okay.
So there's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie called The Last Ronin in the works. It's going to be rated R.
Really?
For Raphael. No, okay. I'm not sure exactly everything that's going on, but they say it's a bloody revenge flick.
Is Quentin Tarantino directing it?
Maybe.
I'm in if he is.
The last surviving turtle is seeking vengeance after the others are killed.
Spoiler alert.
That's what it says.
So is Liam Neeson playing the Ninja Turtle?
Probably.
So which Ninja Turtle is the one that's taking them all out?
I don't know.
Oh,
I always root for Raphael.
Should we place our bets? I mean, we have some time, but who do you think is the last surviving Ninja Turtle?
Raphael, my boyfriend.
I think I'm going to go with Leonardo.
Okay.
Danny?
I need Michelangelo. He's my boy.
So then Sarah gets Donatello?
Okay.
All right.
Like we'll remember any of this.
We're going to follow up after the movie comes out.
Well, maybe whichever Ninja Turtles left needs to avenge the crime that's happening here in Bellevue or in the Bellevue area. Did you hear about this lady? She's 24 years old, and her mom, they were running a West Coast theft ring targeting all the Lululemon stores. Why did my wife get in cahoots with them? You know how expensive that stuff is?
Very expensive.
It's crazy.
That's why I own none of it.
They were accused of stealing over $500,000 in merchandise from stores across Washington, Oregon, also California. I guess they were like putting them in just like duffel bags, stuffing them with clothes, going into a car that didn't have a license plate on it. They had a full scheme going, but eventually it caught up to them. They were caught. Apparently there were also some rifles in the lady's house, her and her mom's house. And both of them are convicted felons, and they're prohibited from possessing firearms, so they're in a little bit of trouble for that as well.
So with all that merch that they recovered, do they give that back to Lululemon, and then they can maybe sell it at a discount?
Well, their return policy there is very good.
Well, good to know.
So I'm sure they'll take it back.
There's a library in New Jersey that made a bit of a goof. They gave out counterfeit eclipse glasses. How does that even exist, a counterfeit eclipse glasses? So they were catching the error right in time. It was a couple hours before the eclipse. Then they warned people not to use them since they weren't able to vouch for them.
Okay, so this wasn't like a prank by them. They thought they were getting like legitimate glasses.
What kind of evil person are you that you're making counterfeit eclipse glasses so you can ruin people's vision?
Who's got that kind of time?
People are a mess.
You know, we're bummed about the Mariners. Obviously, the season hasn't gone as well as we'd hope. I mean, it's still early, though, and they've got a weekend stint against the Chicago Cubs this weekend here over at T-Mobile Park, so hopefully you can go check out some of the games. But at least the Seattle Mariners are not Houston Astros pitcher Hunter Brown, who some are saying had the worst first inning of all time.
No.
He gave up 9 runs on 11 hits in less than 1 full inning. They finally we got to pull the cord on this guy. Cut the cord. Let's get him out. And that is the worst in Major League Baseball history.
I think we need to let's pull the worst stats for baseball at some point and read them off. What an achievement.
Especially when it has nothing to do with the Seattle Mariners.
Yesterday, we learned that O.J. Simpson died from cancer at the age of 76. The reports indicate that he was with his children and his grandchildren when he passed on Wednesday night in Las Vegas. But because of his death, there's been this crazy surge in sales for O.J. Simpson memorabilia. Prices are through the roof. Items are selling out. Collectors want to own a piece of this history. And, that's what they say. Like, things are just, once you die, everything is worth more, and people care a lot more about it.
Can't get his autograph anymore.
No.
Not that I really want it, though. I'm okay with not having any O.J. Simpson merchandise, to be honest with you. As far as weather, we're going to hit a high of 58 degrees. It's going to be cloudy. Once again, please go to KISW.com and donate for Seattle Rock Day and for Smash to help raise money for musicians that are in need. We're at $3,800 raised so far of our goal of $14,000. The DMV is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above, and that's what's up.
Ryan Castle is up next with your morning 12-pack.
The Daily Migs Show. The Daily Migs Show.
There are any number of reasons you might consider selling your home. That's where an agent who is a realtor comes in to navigate the process to sell your home in a way that's right for you. Because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
At Metro, get an iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system for $99.99. Take amazing pictures and share them instantly. And don't put up with life's yada yada. Yada yada. Like photo bombers. Zoom, crop out, yada yada. And bye.
You don't take yada yada in life, don't take yada yada from your wireless provider. Get iPhone 12 with 5G with no activation fees and nada yada yada. Only at Metro by T-Mobile. Switch to Metro, bring your ID. This offer isn't available for customers currently at T-Mobile or that have been with Metro in the past 180 days.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your top 3 recommendations or things to implement right now in our practice to be better prepared when treating patients using GLP-1 medications.
So first one is dental sound bites, created for dentists by dentists.
I got that one. I'm going to be on top of that one now.
If I was a clinician right now who had type 2 diabetes and had listened to this podcast, I would be a little scared. Dental sound bites.
Listen now wherever you get your podcast.